Here you go. This is Emily C., my new bestie.
I hate the idea that someone out there hates me. I even hate thinking that Al-Qaeda hates me. I think if they got to know me, they wouldn't hate me.
This stole the show. Emily C. was phenomenal.
There's something you need to know.
What?
You're doing great.
Look at my baby. Here she is. Emily. 10 out of 10. Huge fan.
I see Emily C says 123. I trust her. She's really good.
Listen, Turtle. You gotta watch your language. I'm already live. So you need to follow the FCC guidelines.
She destroyed, left nothing in her path. It was so good.
Good morning, everybody. Hi. Happy March. If you are local, then you know that Massachusetts welcomed March today with a brand new snowstorm. I just looked outside and it's currently like blizzarding again. So that's fun. As if Massachusetts isn't giving us enough headaches already. I just watched Bettero and Nurse Kim, and it just like always puts me in the best moods. I just love the two of them together. It just makes me happy. And I'm so happy because today I suckered two new friends into doing sidebars with me. And before I bring them up, I want to say a couple things. Number one, we had like Academy Award winning actors last time. I mean, maybe Loophole lawyer and Samantha Benigno are going to exceed Melanie and Jimmy's acting skills. I know I personally can't, but I'm hoping that doing this with the two of them today, I have this feeling like Vince is right when he says that this would be a really easy case to solve. I personally just think that the police are holding on to the puzzle pieces that we need to actually do that. But if anybody's going to actually get to the bottom of this and solve it, it's going to be the two of them. So I'm hoping that today, going through the sidebars with Sam and Vince, we'll be able to kind of like talk through some of the pieces that this fills in for us, if it answers any questions for us. And it's just fun, so I'm excited. As always, before we get started, I want to say the biggest thank you to Corey Hopkins, our queen, for getting us these sidebars. And this batch was supposed to be the last batch from the Commonwealth. But there are days missing, like we don't have Rentschler's ham sandwich day. And I feel like we need that. So Corey basically said, she's not just gonna take no for an answer. We didn't come this far to come this far. And so I am excited that maybe there will be more sidebars in the future that weren't supposed to happen at all. And I think that was everything I wanted to say. So, without further ado, please join me in welcoming the Loophole lawyer and Samantha Benigno.
Hi, guys.
Hello.
Good morning.
I told you both to put your name as your characters, and neither of you did. So,
I didn't see that. Okay, I can change that. You want me to change it right now?
Emily's introduction was that we are not going to be able to act as well as the previous guests have acted. I don't know, but Samantha, I don't know. Have you been involved with, I don't know, the biggest radio/TV show ever?
Yes, but not as an actor.
Well, at least we were fringe. We're at least fringe, at least associated with it in some part. So yes. And Miss Judy said, get your framing right, Miss Emily. You're off to the left.
Because I have
She don't want to hear excuses. Asians do not care. I'm getting it all from her today.
Vince,
She told me it's too early to start a show. And these girls both yelled at me before. See the hands coming up?
am I in the middle? Tell me when I'm in. I can't even tell when I'm in the middle. I feel like I am. Vince, I've been told by the internet to not let you get away with any of your nonsense today, and that I can put you in timeout backstage if I need to. So I have the power today. Oh,
Okay, so
that is
who am
really
I
good.
being? Who am I? I'm a
Look at
defense
my
attorney,
mug.
right? Oh, look
It's
how
my
cute
trial
it is.
channel Grant Smith Ellis crossover mug.
That's very cute.
So you, Samantha, are the defense team, correct?
Yes. Okay. So I'm
And-
just putting defense team then here, or should I change it to someone specifically?
You can call it anything you want to. You can
Okay.
say AJ, Yannetti, Little. We're going to start with the first trial.
Okay.
And Vince is going to get to live out his Lally dreams of his best friend, Lally.
Okay.
How you guys? I'm not changing my name because I don't know what the hell.
Yeah,
it is right now.
Judy has a challenge for you today. You're going to have to find ways to make jokes that aren't inappropriate.
Son of a bitch! My first joke was, "How many inches did you get?" Because you're referring to the snow.
Danny, I lurk in your channel all the time, so welcome. Oh, I was going to set a goal today, but now I don't even know how.
Okay, so I
called me
changed
out for
it,
never
but-
setting goals.
There it is.
Hey, damn! How do you do that, Sam?
Edit those three little dots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh god.
There you go.
All right, we'll move on. Yeah, but thank you to Corey for obviously getting these, and I was hoping Corey would come on today.
Did
and
our
make
peer
an
pressure
appearance.
work? We really tried.
Yeah, I wanted her to at least take a bow for everything that she's done. Not just this, but
That's
really
what
to
I'm
get.
saying.
I mean, Corey got the entire file from the prosecution. I've never seen that in my life.
Yeah.
Yeah, hold on. I'm trying
yeah.
to figure out how to. Okay, I'm setting a goal because Rat House Media taught me how to do this.
Goal for what?
For super chats. Okay, wait. Let's see.
That's a good idea, right? I've seen that.
I've never done this before. Also, while I'm here, I should give out the gifted memberships that I always forget to do.
We're off to a great start here, but it is Sunday morning, right? It should be a relaxing show.
I was thinking when I was watching Kim and Betterow that it's so amazing that they are so like wide awake and put together so early in the morning because I could never. I don't know how to do this, so never.
Did
And
Mark
on the
Betterow-
weekend of all things.
Did he go to Syracuse, either undergrad or law school? Because he's always wearing a Syracuse sweatshirt. I went to Syracuse Law School, and it would be about the same time if he did. If only there was a way to check.
Well, we could probably ask him. I'm thinking.
Well, there's
One
many
possibility.
systems. Yeah,
Oh yeah,
it
he
turns
was
out.
on your channel once. I loved that. You guys were awesome.
Oh, you had Mark Betterow on your channel, Sam?
Mark is the best. Mark's my favorite. Sorry. Lawyer.
Winks and Wilt sent $10 and said this is going to be amazing. Don't get your hopes too high because
Yeah, I
I'm
don't
feeling
know.
very sleepy right now. No.
Actually, no, honestly, Mark is the reason that I started really following the trial, the first trial. So to be full transparency, Mark Betterow was like my hero of the first trial.
Okay,
Really?
but how do you get in
I've heard
contact with
so
him?
many like things that pulled people in, and this is the first Betterow hook that I've heard. I like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, Mr.
yeah.
Betterow's sister went to Syracuse.
Ah, there you
the next
go.
brother.
Oh, I loved it.
Aw.
It's like 50% Jewish girls there. I
Morning.
loved it.
I'm going to time you out. Good morning, Zach. Okay, so here's the plan today. I have a child. Not
Hello, someone just said they don't report that. You don't even read the super chat. It was witty. Exactly.
I don't know how to get back to it. Sorry. Hold on. Okay. Zach said, I always just feel like I'm not like a natural at this yet. Zach said $9.99 and said, I do not support this goal.
Get the irony.
Ben Burnett sent $20. You guys, if you don't follow him on Twitter, you need to go over and follow him because he just every day is just paragraphs to all the people that don't like me. And is like my biggest defender and the best. And they're so witty and so funny, and I love it. He sent $20 and said, here is to your goal. Wish I could watch more. Got to take mom to church. All these like sweet, wholesome people. And that will make Zach happy because he's also sent $4.99 and said we're all a bunch of heathens streaming while we should be in church. This is the church. Maybe Vince will tone down the innuendo on the Lord's Day.
Yes, Vince, good idea.
Hey, I'm with two Jewish broads here, so we don't deal with that on Sunday.
Little Dorothy said has
Wait,
been a member for 2 months.
Are you
and
both
said,
pizza bagels? You're both half Jewish, right? Man, I always dated Jewish girls for some reason. The purebreds, not the half ones.
You're not dating us.
I was gonna say
You know
we're
that, right?
we're not dating.
No, I know that. I'm just saying in the past, dating you. Please, you wish. I wouldn't.
But this cute little Dorothy said, happy to be part of the Snowy
Morning,
Breakfast
Jenny.
Club.
What's your opinion on Botox? This is a serious question. For
I love
purely
Botox.
cosmetic reason. For real? Sam?
Yes, of course, absolutely. I am all for anything that makes people feel like a better version of themselves. Tattoos,
I've never
Botox,
done Botox,
whatever.
but I think I should because my eyebrows are so stupid. They are like go up so high every time I'm talking. And sometimes I look at like freeze frames of myself and I'm like, what are they doing all the way up there? I look like that lady that Aiden drew on his eyebrows.
I will
So
say
maybe I
this.
should to like freeze this a little.
I missed that.
I hate it. I disagree with it unless there's some real issue. I had a client, Dr. Ruth Rosenberg. She still practices in New York. She's a psychotherapist, Sam. Super
okay.
smart. Teaches at Columbia. She's just like me, totally anti-Botox. And she looks great. She's probably maybe in the 70s now. Doesn't have a wrinkle, but she stays fit. She does the hard work. She doesn't use any type of chemical in her body.
How can you be
Whoa,
anti
wait a
something
minute,
for
excuse me,
somebody
wait a
else?
You don't get to decide, number one. And number two, you don't get to make an insinuation that somebody who's using Botox doesn't do the hard work. Can we time them out now?
I'm only asking because Miss Judy is contemplating going for her first Botox, and I saw her in the chat, and she's yelling at me about the time, and I was just against it for her, especially because she's Asian, she has great skin, she did put in the hard work, and I don't think she needs it because
Bye bye.
once you started, you can't stop. Is that right?
I don't know
Well-
if that's right. I don't know.
Lil Mama One sent $5 and said, I've heard many sidebars already elsewhere, but I'm here because you make them so fun. Thank you.
Thank you, I
That's
appreciate
nice.
that.
Started.
That was directed towards me.
We should get started on them. So, and also Zach said, don't be like Danny and erase the goal halfway through. I will not.
What is the goal? Like the actual goal?
I don't even know. I just clicked. I don't know. Somebody in the chat can tell us. Robert sent a super sticker, a 1999 super sticker. That's cool.
Wow, that was very nice.
I don't
Aw,
understand
thanks,
super
Robert.
Stickers.
They give
Like,
you money and
am
you
I
don't have to
supposed
say
to
anything.
see-
They're just being
Am I
generous.
supposed to see like a picture or something?
Sometimes.
Like, well, thank you. That's cool. Okay. So it just so happened that the last time that I was doing sidebars from trial 1, we left off at your boy. So today we're starting with your boy.
Oh.
Ooh.
Whoa.
So last night, girls, on the forensic files, I was listening to it as I go to sleep, and Karen, somehow they intercepted text between Karen and Aiden via a third party, and I have to go back and listen, but she references Higgy one time, and it's like Higgins is always all over me. That was it. Everything else was this was probably the third party, Colin. But the one little sentence was Higgy is always all over me, all the time. But she wasn't implying that it could be Brian. It was just that one sentence in relation to Brian Higgins. Did you see that?
You mean like in the past? I didn't see that. In the past was all over her all the time, like flirting with her. Is that what you're
Yes.
referencing?
But it was, Sam, it was one sentence in the middle of maybe like 100 of them. But the one time she referenced him in these intercepted text messages that he's all over her.
What was the date on the messages? Do we know? These are from
We have to
Natalie.
go.
We haven't started yet.
Sorry. Go ahead.
No.
Yeah, these are from the forensic files, their video last night or 2 nights ago, the last video. And
Yeah,
they
but
have them.
the texts, they're from
I don't
Natalie.
know. I was sleeping.
Okay.
Their calmness
Just
puts
falling
me
asleep
like,
to
in a good
Tuesday.
mood. Yeah. I already did
They're
that. I was
calm.
listening
That's
to
an
the show.
interesting way to say it. They're calm.
Hey, look,
Okay.
they get great guests, and I don't know where they got that from. Emily, do you know where? Have you seen that before?
Yeah, that text about
Sure.
Karen paying Alan Jackson has been out for like 2 years.
Not that.
But
The text.
great job. No, I don't know. I would need to see the one you're talking about Higgins.
I guess
Remember that.
what was she was sending message to Aiden via a third party using Signal, I guess, and that's what they got.
Natalie Wawike.
Okay, so
Natalie the German.
yeah,
Right.
and that's
Chattel,
how.
if you will.
So how come they have them and we don't?
We
think those are out.
We do have them. Yeah.
Yeah, because I never seen the one that they referenced yet. They had a bunch. Where do we get
Now
them
you
from?
have them.
Was it in the motion or was it something that was older?
No, I think I remember seeing those on one of Aiden's shows like a while ago when he was either talking about the relationship with Natalie. No, these are different. The Meredith leaks are, I'm not even looking at those because that feels like a big invasion of privacy that I don't personally want to engage in. But no, these are the ones, these are the texts. Vince is talking about the texts that when Natalie was communicating with Aiden, these like relaying messages from Karen. And they're kind of coming up right now because in the civil case, their dealer is using that against Karen to say that she was like feeding him information, which no, you're allowed
Well,
to
even if
talk
she was,
to
who cares?
journalists.
Yeah, she
Right.
did the right thing. And you know what? They actually say the same thing that I've said, that you give a lot of credit to Aiden. He just doesn't accept what Karen was saying through this third party and then publishing it. He demands answers and qualifies. He needs to qualify everything that they're saying. And he pushes back on virtually everything that they say. Even Colin in the house initially, Aiden was the one that was against it. Not necessarily that Colin was involved, but yeah. And without that, then you find out that Colin was in the house. So they actually, the 4 or 5 of them, they had 4 yesterday, were actually complimenting Aiden a lot, which is hard for them to do, to be more objective, except for Tuesday. The other ones are so not objective. And they actually were saying the same thing that I said with regard to that. You know, I just cared last night about that one little sentence about Brian Higgins. Obviously, that's one of my main focuses. That the only thing she had to say was that he was all over her all the time. I got to go back and get that exact. And you can't ignore evidence, Miss Emily. You need to be able to look at it, even if you
Who's
think that it's
ignoring
there.
evidence?
What are you saying? That
to
it's
me,
a breach of.
Oh no, I'm talking about a spat with an ex-girlfriend who is leaking things that it's not trial related. It's just petty.
Oh, well, that happens to me too.
And let this be a lesson to everybody to use different passwords for everything. Don't use the same password for everything.
I can't.
Let's all learn a lesson. Okay, so here, oh my gosh, I would love to go on that Lego show. The theme song of your Lego Law Life and Libations was stuck in my head for like 8 days. That sounds like a dream. I've never done Legos, but I do really like putting together IKEA furniture. So maybe I would like Legos.
You do? I hate it. I'm so bad at it.
Oh, I love it. It's like such a satisfying, like start to finish, and you have nothing but a mess all over, and then you have like a whole dresser at the end. Okay, so here's the plan for today. Each one of these sidebars, I put together a little clip that leads us into it so we can kind of get situated. I went through last night and I was trying to pull out some of the more boring sidebars that were just about like scheduling and stuff. And that's that. Let's do it. This is the first trial, May 24th, 2024. And I believe this is Higgins' first day on the stand still, but could be wrong about that.
Yes. And the next.
Look at him in his glass.
Come on. Higgy Bear's so cute.
Look at that sophisticated man.
Emily Holm. I still don't understand why I nicknamed him Higgy Bear. I don't know like what the genesis is. I have no idea.
Do you know I've had it on my to-do list that I want to go back and find your first mention of Higgy Bear, because I just want to see like what was happening in that wherever you came up with that.
But doesn't he look like a Higgy Bear?
Yes.
He's such a
He
cute
does.
killer.
It's
Looks like a
perfect.
bear.
It fits perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
And if he didn't lie and do so many shady things in this case, it would be adorable. But instead, don't love him. Okay, wait, let me just do this so I can see.
You mean if he
guys.
didn't murder a police officer or something along those lines?
Besides that, he's a great guy.
Okay.
Saturday, 12:20 a.m. Is that correct?
Yes.
And is it your recollection that that was January 29th?
Yes.
And is that the message that you sent to Mr. O'Keefe while you were in the residence at 34 Fairview Road?
Yes. I said, are you coming here with three followed by three question marks?
Look at the one-sided
And again,
shoulder.
Mr. O'Keefe, based on your recollection and based on the records you have before, you never responded to that text. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And you never saw him after that, correct?
Never again, no.
Can I approach this to retrieve, Your Honor?
Yes.
Your Honor, may I approach the witness?
Yes.
Presenting before you now a separate, series of documents of 118 pages in length. Page number history of residence on the side here. In general, do you recognize what those are?
Yes.
What do you recognize those to be?
Text messages between the defendant and I.
Your Honor, the Commonwealth to move to introduce and admit as the next exhibit.
No, not as the next exhibit. We are going to mark that 104A.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Yes.
Now, Mr. Higgins, first, Your Honor, may I request permission to publish the video on screen?
Yes.
I don't think I meant for this clip to be this long.
I don't care.
Are
I
we
can
just
watch
going
him
through
day.
all of them now? Is that what we're doing? We're starting at the beginning?
Is that what you have before you as exhibit 104A?
Yes.
And
Here we go.
I don't know, but okay. Then Lally finished direct. I don't know what that clip was. I got a little deletey and then I didn't go back and edit because it was late. Okay, this is, oh, you guys are going to like this. Okay, that was why I deleted. There was something about the text messages and how they were going to display them. And there was like a whole sidebar that was like 7 pages back and forth about like the bubbles are hard to read and blah, blah. I deleted that, forgot to delete the clip. Sorry, everybody. Now we're here. This is getting into the proffer. And so everybody knows our roles are I am the court. Vince is the prosecution and Sam is the defense team. Here we go. I'm sorry. You're not getting into the proffer, are you?
I was going to, yes. At some point, I'm going to ask him about the proffer. And I was going to ask to approach first. I think it's exceedingly important that the jurors understand that he...
Do we know anything about that proffer?
I know that it was...
I don't think the proffer means what counsel thinks it means.
Well, the point is he's represented by counsel, right? So we're going to have a voir dire, or at least, unless you can show me that that proffer has nothing to do with his testimony here, I'm not letting it in.
The only thing I'll ask him about it certainly has a lot to do with his testimony here, because the proffer was obviously the subject matter. The only question is, do I style it as a proffer? I wasn't going to ultimately say, did you give an interview or a statement? And in that interview, you knew that you were testifying under a grant of immunity. If the court doesn't want me to, then I will follow the court's instructions.
Not with that foundation. And I know you're in a hurry to get this done, and I don't want that to interfere. And I don't want that to interfere with anything. Is his lawyer here today? Do we know?
He's right here. That's a question I'm going to ask him.
Oh, about his lawyer?
Right.
So not until after lunch, and he's got a right to talk to his lawyer about this. I see a hearing here at Sidebar. It's not as simple as we've said. And from what you said is the foundation, I don't see any. So I need to explore a little more, and
it's not a big part of my cross.
All right. So you decide.
I'll decide on the fly. I certainly won't do anything without approaching you first.
Okay.
Is it possible that we could do a 45-minute lunch instead of an hour?
I was thinking that. So let's see where you go.
Jackson was
Can't even
pining
let
to
him
hold
retreat.
on. Jackson pining to get back to his young new wife there, right? Because the reason he's rushing through this cross of the killer is because he has a scheduled anniversary date with his wife. Am I wrong?
Is that what it was? I know he wasn't there that Tuesday, but do you know that that's what he?
I don't know
that's
why I generally wouldn't say it, but I'm pretty sure somewhere that was what came up. Oh, right, because he called his wife his partner, and that bothered the shit out of me. I don't know where this was, but he said I have to go on a date with my partner or something to that effect. And I had asked you girls about this, and for some reason, yeah, because we know that Alan Jackson takes a vacation day on the second day that Brian Higgins is on the stand.
What if he just did that because Yannetti was like itching to get to Higgins, and he really just wanted to let him get his licks?
Yeah, I told you before that I never knew that there was a rule that only one attorney can cross-examine someone. Like in the second or third trial that I ever did, it was actually in arbitration. I wanted to tag team in and go, but the arbitrators didn't let us, and everyone was looking at me weird. I think I was like 25 years old, and yeah, it's just fundamental that it's just one attorney at a time with regard to this.
Yeah, I thought it had something to do with his daughter. People are saying his daughter's graduation.
Oh my God, that's even worse.
His daughter's graduation from what?
Kindergarten.
Okay.
It's adorable.
It's pretty cute.
Aw.
Yeah, it's cute. I don't know. My life is on the line here. My attorney's got to go watch his daughter graduate from kindergarten. Anyone can go through kindergarten. You don't graduate from kindergarten.
It's not like he left it in bad hands. Yannetti was gave Higgins kind of like a different vibe.
No, I agree. It's actually beneficial to them. But think about this. This goes back to the point of the email that the girls were reading last night, is that we didn't realize that Higgins is the freaking killer, like for sure at this point. And the fact that Alan's willing to go to his daughter's kindergarten graduation is a huge indicator that they weren't getting the information, I believe now, from Karen. I'm not blaming Karen, but still, this should have been clear to him.
Yeah, it's true.
That's a good point. Yeah. This comment just made me laugh so hard. Karma Dharma said, "Why was Higgins allowed to live at Candid Police Department?"
And have you ever slept over in an office, not in a sexual way, just slept in an office overnight?
No.
Because you guys think I love DLA Piper, but those attorneys do. And they sleep overnight in offices because they're working. Yeah, so I don't know if Higgins had...
He just keeps going. Not Alessi.
Yeah, Bob Alessi doesn't sleep. No, he just...
He doesn't sleep.
What is he? He just stands in the corner for like 5 minutes and then comes back to work?
Yeah, no, he like hangs upside down like a bat and he recharges quickly.
I welcome everyone that comes to New York City. If you're near Times Square area, you'll look up and you'll see a building that literally has DLA Piper carved into it. Not carved like a little cheesy thing, like the whole, like 5 floors has DLA Piper. I'm just letting you know like how intense this firm is. It's not something to even think that the advantage that they got with DLA Piper was so huge.
Okay.
No doubt.
Higgins' next video.
Yeah, thanks for the follow-up, girls. Leave me
Yeah,
I love
of
how
course.
everybody's so excited about kindergarten graduation. And I agree. At the school
agree,
that I
too.
taught at didn't let us have kindergarten graduation because the kids like stayed in the same school. And I was always like, but it's like so special for parents. And it's cute and fun.
It is cute.
Yeah, great. My life is on the line.
I don't know though. Alan Jackson gave everything to this case. If he wanted to go to kindergarten, he was there. He was all in, I feel like. So you're right. It does speak to the fact that they did not think as much of Higgins, but he gave everything to this. And he didn't charge what he was worth, certainly. So
As Vince just saw for the very first time from the 5
prior
girls.
to your testimony at a prior proceeding. Do you understand what I'm talking about?
I'm tracking.
Okay. At the formal interview, which is what I'm going to call it,
Okay.
the formal interview, you were asked about Brian Albert and his reputation, were you not?
Oh, you're
Yes
going to
or no?
like this one.
Yes.
You indicated in that formal interview that even Chief Berkowitz was quote, a little afraid of Brian Albert.
All right, so that is the objection sustained. That's stricken. I'll see you at sidebar.
I also love the way that Lally says, objection, every time.
Objection. Your Honor, I don't see how, first of all, the wrong witness. Secondly, as far as whatever, a number of different things. So it's attempting to attack character and suggest some sort of bad act of a witness who's not even testifying on the stand when these questions weren't asked of the witness when he was here and when he was testifying on the stand. That was a subject of a motion in limine that was allowed. It was completely inappropriate, completely irrelevant, and I ask for a limiting instruction to be given to the jury at this time in regard to this.
I like your Lally.
I don't. That was way too energetic.
What type of limiting instruction?
Questions are not evidence because essentially what counsel is doing is testifying from his questions as to the facts that these incidents allegedly occurred.
But you know he can't testify. Even Chief Berkowitz knew that his reputation, and you know better than that, and I'm not going to give this instruction, though it's warranted. Tell me why that question is certainly not admissible, but tell me why you think this line of questioning is. I need to make your offer of proof.
sure. I believe that it's relevant through this witness because he knows of the reputation for violence. He knows the reputation for violence of Brian Albert Sr. He's known Brian Albert Sr. for more than 15 years. He knows Eddie Hernandez, who I have information, and he has information. He got into a physical altercation with Brian Albert and was beaten up by Brian Albert. He is aware that his friend Kenny Berkowitz was afraid of Brian Albert physically. And the reason all of that is relevant is because Brian Albert was in the home of a Boston police officer. Is because Brian Albert was in the home of a Boston police officer who we have evidence before this jury was involved in or had injuries consistent with the physical altercation. And that goes to a lack of, again, twofold, a lack of investigation by the Commonwealth, by their investigators, by the Massachusetts State Police. And it also goes to a lack of, again, twofold, a lack of investigation by the Commonwealth, by their investigators, by the third-party culpability. That is an undefined third-party culpability that is between and among Brian Albert, Colin Albert, and this witness.
Okay, so one of the reasons that third-party culprit evidence is very limited is so that it doesn't put the Commonwealth in the position you're putting him in right now. This is far too attenuated. If it had been closer than 5 years prior to this date, I'd have given it to you. It's too remote, okay?
That's
And then
interesting.
they
And
break.
And I agree with this. I mean, we're really trying to force that Brian Albert Sr. is this big tough guy. You would see so many more fights, so many more arrests if he really was.
I'm not sure I understand what you're saying there. What do you mean that you would see so many more fights? And this guy's given like the keys to the city by the Boston Police Department, right? Because of his work on these two major cases. They say they anoint him as being able to put together his own squad. They say, we don't care who you pick, but you're going to go be the elite squad who basically has carte blanche to do anything they want, to investigate the way you want to. So he is given full power and authority, has like all the cards, right? Somebody thinks that he deserves that power and authority. So I think he's seen as a tough guy for sure.
Yeah, I just don't think that he is the one that you want to portray, someone that's going to kill someone that quickly after 30 minutes of drinking with him. I just don't think that this is relevant to that. I just don't. I mean, last night I hung out with Samantha's good friend Anthony Cumia on Friday night, and he was normal. And then all of a sudden drinking happens, and then all of a sudden he's assaulting someone. And I never thought he, in a million years, would ever touch anybody besides the girl that he beat. It was a domestic dispute that he had. Yeah, but this was odd that all of a sudden, like a multimillionaire with a lot of money to lose and really isn't a physical tough guy would actually throw a punch or slap in self-defense, in his fairness, to somebody.
Isn't that what we've been saying to you this whole time? Is that
exactly?
Okay, just want to make sure that you were saying the same thing. But one thing I've been thinking when I hear you talk about motive is, I always have to remember that like nobody was trying to kill John. Like the motive wasn't motive to kill. It was a motive to get in a drunken fight. And then something went terribly wrong so quickly. And I just think that's important to remember when you're assigning motive. Like it's not who had the motive to want John dead. It's who had the motive to want to be drunk like your friend and do something stupid. And I think that's a lot of the people that were at the bar and a lot of the people that were drinking that night.
You're 100% right. And that's a huge issue because sure, Higgy had a motive, but that doesn't mean that Colin or Brian Albert couldn't have the instant motive where they just get so angry for whatever the reason and throw a punch and land it. Because like you said, this is not a murder that was planned, and Brian Higgins did not want to murder John O'Keefe. They wanted to fight. But to your point, just because little Colin didn't have an instant motive or motive at all, doesn't mean that he didn't do it.
Robin J said if Brian Albert ended up on John O'Keefe's lawn, they definitely would have gone inside John O'Keefe's house.
Good point. That's a really good point.
And also this was not all Bizarre Biatch, I like that name, said not all the fights were reported. The point is so much power that they cover up things all the time.
Yeah.
And that was not in dispute in that sidebar. That was, these are facts and evidence now. I'm going to start this and then I got to go lock the door because my son is about to try to get in. So hold on.
So what communication did you have with her after January 23rd?
Well, she texted me on January 29th.
You keep saying that, but you know what I'm getting to. January 29th was her informing you that a tragedy had occurred. John had died, right? I'm not talking about that, Mr. Higgins, so I don't want to keep playing games.
All right, so that's what we talked about. No more of
Sorry,
that.
After the 23rd, or up to the 23rd, she had been texting back and forth with you pretty regularly. You just saw it, correct?
She also sent me a text with arrows saying the phone works both ways.
And as of the 23rd, she stopped, didn't she?
The texts were sporadic over those 9 days. I don't know if they would have stopped or they would have kept going.
Well, they didn't keep going, did they?
Well, John passed away.
You know they didn't keep going because from the 23rd onto the 24th, 25th, 26th, 27th, 28th.
Can I just say one thing about that answer? You still could have kept texting. Like he said, well, John passed away. Like that's not a reason to stop texting Karen.
Right.
In that scenario. Like,
yeah, you wonder.
Like,
Go ahead.
he wasn't saying like, I found out something terrible about Karen. She's like a cold-blooded killer. He's saying John passed away. That's why I stopped texting her. Like, so either you're saying, oh, I only liked her because she had a boyfriend.
Right.
Or you're saying I felt guilty about what happened to John and that's why I stopped texting her.
I love the point that you picked up on, because the plausible argument for Higgins not texting Karen after that final text, John died, is that I'm not texting that bitch. She killed a cop. She killed my friend. But you're 100% right. That's not what he said here. He didn't even say that at all. And from a technical standpoint, and Sam, you probably love listening to his answers, every single one of those answers was incorrect from a legal, technical standpoint, because every single one of them could have been answered with a yes or a no. Higgins can't do that. He's so thin-skinned and he's improperly trained. Even though you're thin-skinned like this big boy, you have to train your witnesses so that when they get under this situation, that they do not answer in an incorrect manner. And you see how many times...
They can't. So they all have been trained. The problem
They're not,
is
Sam.
that,
Sorry. I will not. Let me just say, they cannot.
No. They cannot, because they're on the defense. See, that's the thing that you don't consider. It's not that they're not well trained. It's that they have their side of the story and they think this is their opportunity to get that story out. So they think that more talking is to their benefit. They think that they sound more innocent by giving us more information. That's the whole mindset of somebody who is holding consciousness of guilt. They can't just say yes and no. So I know what you're saying, and you're not wrong about that, but they can't help it.
Then they're improperly trained.
Also, to be fair, it was Lally training. I think if anything, like Brian Albert was probably training Higgins more, because otherwise it's Lally sitting there being like, okay, Mr. Higgins, what I'm gonna ask you next is, and then what I want you to say, like he has no control over what Higgins does.
Yeah, but these guys think they're smarter than everybody else.
Well, that's true, but they have their own private attorneys. I'm not even faulting Lally for this. There's certain limitations you have. And when I say training, it's constant simulation of hard cross-examination until your client fully understands that not what they're saying is wrong, that they're technically wrong because I asked a yes or no question. I've had harder clients than this person, Brian Higgins, to deal with, that has to learn, and it only can be done in simulation. You can't tell your client just answer yes or no, because this is what will happen. You have to simulate. You have to let them teach you. We show them bad examples of depositions with Bill Gates and have them grade each question. Finally, it will get to their head that they cannot do this and talk like this. It only hurts their case. This hurts Brian Higgins. Had he been properly trained, perhaps we wouldn't even detected all the deception.
But I agree with Sam that in his head, he thinks if he just says yes, no, that he sounds guilty.
Right.
He does. You're 100% right, but it's not about that. It's about being authentic. He didn't have to offer all this extra information. You're only helping the other side when you do that.
Right. But they can't. You can't let it go.
There's one moment that Sergio Denaro talked about. I can't think of what it was right now, but Alan asked him a question. He answered it fully, and then there was like a long pause, and then he just like kept talking. And I forget what he was trying to explain. Oh, it was like, shoot, I forget what it was, but Sergio Denaro stopped it and was like, "Yeah, that is super guilty."
They do it. It's bad. It's really, really bad.
It is.
All the way to the 29th. She never texted you, right?
I believe so.
She didn't respond to any of your texts, correct?
Well, she didn't respond to the text on the 28th Friday.
Mr. Lally, Miss McLaughlin, you can bring that with you. All right. So I was wondering again about the proffer, because we have to do something with it.
We don't. That was my one question, and the court was very clear. Don't go there with Chief Berkowitz, so I am done.
Okay. So was Chief Berkowitz something to do with the proffer?
This is crazy. I'd never seen this before.
Well, it was just a question that he was, I think, aren't they referencing the question about him being afraid of Brian Albert?
Right, but then was that tied into the proffer? The like federal proffer that he signed that we have no idea what it gave him or why? And all
Well,
we know is that Lally says it's not what you guys think it is, which makes me think it is what we think it is.
Yeah, but I think all that he's saying here is a reference back to that last conversation, right? Like that's something that he gave them in the proffer that Chief Berkowitz said. So it came from the proffer.
Can we
Right?
define what a proffer is in this context? I know I'm
Yes,
supposed to do
the
it, but
lawyer. Thank you.
but
I
this
guess
criminal stuff is not necessarily my cup of tea. But are they saying that a proffer is a statement that I can make that I cannot be held criminally liable for anything that I disclose here that's truthful?
Mm-hmm.
So what if I'm Brian Higgins and I say I punched John during the proffer? I punched John and he hit the back of his head, and then I let him stay there. I left, and then Brian Albert called me at 2:22, and I told him to move the body at 3:45, which he did. Can I be prosecuted for anything that I just said?
I mean,
I know
guess
I'm
it
one that's
depends
supposed
the
to be that.
term. I think that from what Lally said in the earlier one, where he's like, this is not what you guys think it is. I don't think it was like that type of like queen for a day proffer. It was more like he was saying, I always was under the impression it had to do with him using the federal kiosk to do his phone, and that he was like basically saying I committed a crime, but I guess it's not, because Berkowitz has something to do with it.
Yeah. Can we first define what the word proffer means? Does anybody know? Can we look that up?
Proffer definition. Okay. Proffer, verb, hold out something to someone for acceptance, offer. He proffered his resignation. Or noun, an offer or proposal. Wait, let me look up federal proffer.
Okay.
I love this. I love word genesis.
A federal proffer or queen for a day agreement is a written contract between a person under federal investigation and the prosecutors to provide truthful information in exchange for limited immunity. So exactly what Sam said.
Yeah, but again, like that's what is limited immunity? Because I want to know, and I guess Mark Bretto, who's a criminal attorney, would be able to answer this question. If Brian Higgins admitted to everything here, could they use that against him? Or could they use other evidence besides just his testimony?
I think it does depend on the agreement on the front end.
Got you.
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
It does say here risks. If you lie, omit information, or break the agreement, the government can use your statements against you.
Right. So I get that. So if Brian Higgins decided to tell the complete truth in this particular proffer, what would happen if he admitted to actually doing what he did? I don't know the answer. I mean, I know I'm the one that should know the answer, but I don't practice criminal law, so
But I think the reason for the federal investigation was to investigate the cops, right? So it wasn't to investigate the death of John O'Keefe. So
right.
I'm guessing in that context, Higgins would have known that the proffer was specific to the investigative part of the equation and wouldn't have been offering.
Which does make it interesting if Berkowitz was like the subject of that, because if they're talking about the investigation, that's Berkowitz, a piece of it at least.
I think he was talking about Brian Albert. So some of the other things from the proffer that I know of were like that Albert was drinking more than he was. Like he does kind of throw him under the bus a little bit. So I think the context of this is like, yeah, even Chief Berkowitz was afraid of Brian Albert. So I think the whole thing, the proffer was leaning, sort of throwing Brian Albert under the bus carefully. That's the way I read into it. Now I could be wrong, but that's what I heard from.
Here, go under this bus carefully.
Carefully.
Can we get the proffer if it's a technical legal document? Corey?
Probably not. It's
hey,
federal.
don't ever underestimate what my woman can do.
It's true. We don't want to underestimate.
They get so scared because I get some of the text or some of the email correspondence. The second Corey starts giving them a deadline, it is hilarious what happens because now they know her reputation. She doesn't bluff at all. So she literally told them, if I don't have it by 5 p.m. on this Friday, this is what I'm going to sue you for. These are the damages you will be paying me. And I don't even know if she ever throws it. Oh my God, they
awesome.
panic. Oh shit, yeah. Actually, at the time,
Amazing.
this was hilarious. The chief of police of Canton, the interim chief, calls her back, and now we're both like, oh fuck, because her and I have this weird thing where our mom used to say, "Call me back," but not. She never left a reference message. So it's either call me, but nothing else. So it's either call me, your dad died, or call me, what do you want for lunch? Like we didn't know. So we both have this anxiety. And at that time, we were both contemplating what to do. She called the guy back. She said he was the nicest guy in the world. And he wasn't bluffing at all. He's like, I want to get the fuck out of this job. I don't know who the interim chief was in Canton Police at the time. And then they sent all the documents. Yeah, she has them running around circles the second she ever threatens anything. It's great. They respect her like you would not believe, and rightfully so.
As they should.
As they should. Absolutely. Okay. Am I reading this now? As I rack my brain, and Ms. Little knows probably better than I do, I don't think there is another portion where his statement and the proffer is the impeachment. It's all going to be the jury, which I know how to deal with. So I don't think I am in need to even address the proffer.
Because it would be wise for him to meet with his lawyer during lunch about this.
Right.
I don't know how to communicate that to him. If you don't have a problem with Mr. Lally letting his lawyer know that this may be a topic.
I think that's exactly what I would suggest. If Mr. Lally would be kind enough to just let him know there could be an issue where Mr. Jackson wants to ask about a statement in the proffer, what are your thoughts about? I don't think I have to go there.
I'm at a disadvantage. I know nothing about the proffer. You and me both, Bev. Other than there was one because this witness mentioned it a few times during the grand jury testimony.
Right.
Are you both aware of the nature of the proffer? Do you have the transcript?
We do. We have the interview, but as far as whatever the proffer was concerning or what the letter was, I don't know anything about that. What I do know is that in the federal system, proffer means something entirely different.
Well, the point is you have to be able to link it to his testimony here.
Right.
And for that, I would need to have a hearing. There are all sorts of problems of having a hearing like that in open court. So I just need to know that if you're saying...
Can I just...
Sure, talk quietly, Miss Little. Bev tells Liza Little to be quiet like 11 times in these transcripts. The quietest one there. Yeah, literally every time she opens her mouth, Bev is like, shut up.
Unbelievable. Ms. Little was reminding me there is an issue that I will bring up that was brought up in the proffer, but it was also brought up in the context of the grand jury, which that's all I'll use. I don't need to relate it back.
Right. So is it in the context of an impeachment, a prior inconsistent statement, or I need to know if it has to do with the proffer?
It does not have to deal with the proffer, no.
Okay.
It's just an inconsistent statement about what happened inside 34 Fairview, his observations.
Okay.
That's all it is.
Your Honor, just to be clear, for the record, my concern is that pertains to the proffers is because I believe there's uniqueness as to how proffers work in the federal system. There's no way for a witness to explain what a proffer is without making reference to the U.S. Attorney's Office and all of that.
Which is why I interjected when you asked a question about his assignment, whether he could answer that, because, again, I have no idea about the proffer, and I don't know if it was related. But it sounds like the defendant does not intend to get into that. Correct, Mr. Jackson?
I do not know.
Okay.
I've gone as far as I'm going to go on any of that.
So Miss McLaughlin grabbed an exhibit. Is there something you were saying about it?
Your Honor, there is within the text, I think, on this page and maybe on one other page.
Oh, I deleted something in the middle of this. They talked about this for like 5 minutes. We can skip that part. they were just talking about the kids. That part was kind of boring. I think that was everything about the proffer. So basically,
That's so interesting. Well, what? Sorry.
Bev and no, they're all with us. Nobody knows what this proffer is. Nobody knows what a federal proffer is. Nobody knows anything.
Yeah, it is weird. Yeah, like they had no clue. They're like, I think the federal proffer is different than the other, but shouldn't they know? I mean, we can ask ChatGPT right now. Oh, that's what I want to say. Corey, how come we don't have that transcript? Because we know that Alan is using a document to impeach Higgy Bear with regard to seeing somebody come into the house. I believe it's going to be in that interview transcript, or it could be in his grand jury testimony. I'm not sure which one. But I would love to analyze his transcript, and it's there somewhere. A written transcript of the interview between Brian Higgins and the investigators, it looks like.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, clearly, whatever the proffer was, because Alan Jackson and Yannetti have seen it and read, they didn't read like the letter, but they did read the transcript or whatever. And there wasn't a ton that they were pulling from it. It doesn't seem like it was that juicy. It just sounds exciting, but I don't think it's as...
You're probably right. Like, they had that whole waterfall video, and they covered everything in the first trial with it. They definitely didn't miss anything.
You're right. They might have missed something. That's a good point. It's fair. It's fair.
Corey said, I don't think there is any universe in which we will see a grand jury transcript.
Yeah, but Corey, what about what about the proffer transcript? Because, you know, in the Adelson case, we saw the proffer videos where you had Tuto was giving his proffer, and you were able to see it. Was it Tato? Tato was giving his proffer.
See, I think that's where that's a different type of proffer, where they're making a proffer to get like a deal with like a sentencing deal. And so that's has to come out publicly. And they're making a proffer that they're going to then testify to on the stand, which is different than whatever this sneaky stuff is.
And you're right, because that is a state compared to federal, which apparently no one knows.
Exactly. Yes. Yes,
Okay.
yes.
This is now Yannetti calls a sidebar. So this was there was this part of the testimony, and then they talk about some other stuff, and then Yannetti asks for a sidebar about this. So this is the day that Alan Jackson is celebrating his daughter's graduation.
You recognize that, sir?
Yes.
Is that the same document that was essentially the same document that was placed before you on Friday?
Yes.
And that's a 167-page document encapsulating different key swipes within the Canton Police Station on January 29, 2022, correct?
Yes.
And from those 160,
Can we stop it for a second?
On that first page, does there appear to be about 27 entries there?
Just 1 second.
Yes.
That document right there is what Corey Hopkins wants so bad. That's all the key swipes, and we haven't gotten it yet. We'll get it eventually. She'll get it eventually. I'm confident. But that's I know she's salivating right now, looking at it, because that shows all the different key swipes. Because they're trying to tell that they didn't exist, but we see it there. We see that there is all the key swipes in and out of Canton PD. And by the way,
Corey's like zooming in the video right now, trying to see.
Wait a minute. What is she? But Corey's saying he did not make a deal. So Luis Rivera actually made a deal. Higgy did not, that we know of. So that's interesting.
Like in the end though, but the proffer, Corey, meaning is there text going in saying this is what the proffer could do? I mean, how come none of us know what a proffer is? And it's so funny to hear the attorneys have no clue. Yeah, no one knows. You would think Alan Jackson would know too. We better answer some of these questions as they fly by. There you go.
Meatball Morrissey Sketty Stain said, I'm going to need more drag disdain and donut making from Loophole for Lally. Somebody else also
I'm getting
asked
there. I'm getting there.
if I was going to send you. I like your Lally, honestly.
Hold on. This is exactly what Sergio may not know, because he does the indications of words, but I've witnessed this my entire life. Anytime a witness is having such a hard time reading a document, it is an indicator of deception. Look at our Higgy Bear there. Look at all the drama he's going through just to see a document. It is such an indicator of deception. Be cool if you're up there read the document. You can see it. You don't need more light. You don't need more glasses.
Like Matt McCabe
Exactly.
suddenly literally going blind trying to read text
Yeah.
messages.
Or how about Donna Adelson, who can't hear anything? She needs to have.
Or Jen. Jen's
That's
like,
exactly.
I can't follow these, right?
Mhm.
There was numbers
Out of
everywhere.
order. Yeah.
I love how much you hate her.
Oh,
Well, hold
I
up.
hate her so much.
I had a client. Keith, he died, unfortunately. Keith McNeil. He goes, Vince. It was down in Oklahoma. Vince, did you love the way I fumbled through all the documents? And I think I was only 20. And he's doing it on purpose. Now, I didn't. He was playing dumb, but I realized that people do this when they're trying to, because he was trying to deceive my client. He said, "You love the way I fumbled through those documents." You know, it's like, all right, I'm in
You're like,
Oklahoma,
no,
so I
you
don't
look
know.
super guilty.
No, it's,
Yeah, no.
it's textbook evasion is what it is. Yeah, it's terrible.
Yes.
The drama.
And so from 27 entries over a course of 167 pages, that'd be somewhere north of 4,500 entries within those 167 pages. Does that sound right?
Well, I went to public high school, but I'll take your word for it.
Would it surprise you that there are 18 entries within those 4,500?
So not what would surprise him. Ask the
What is your take on that, Samantha? Public high school.
So I don't know. So I was getting a text about something related to this from somebody else, and so I didn't hear the beginning of that. What was that exchange in reference to? The key swipes? Is that what we're talking about?
It was just there's 1,400 messages within this document. Lowry's just trying to make the point that it's a large sum of data that's coming in. Higgins offers a joke in theory before he answers the question. And then in psychology, why would someone
it's
try
evasive.
Okay.
And is Lally trying to say like, oh, there were so many people swiping back and forth that like you only had 18 of them, so that's like not a lot at all? Is that what Lally was going for?
You're giving me way too much credit. I just wanted to show that there's a lot there. We're not going to go through all of them. I mean, yeah, that's what I love. I love. I can't do it. I can't do Lally in real life. I can't be him. He could just go up there and ask questions and not care about necessarily winning or losing. It's just getting through the day and getting back to his pack of smokes. Now, Emily would drive by Lally's house sometimes. You're right. Not in a stalking way. It's on your route to get to your country club, you said.
No, Lally's house is near my son's school. Where Lally grew up is near my son's school.
That's okay. You can drive by.
His family still lives there, and there's a big a tapestry on the front of the house that says, "Welcome, Lally's."
Oh my God.
They must live to like 100, the Lallies. They like have no stress. You know,
His house looks like the cutest house to grow. Like you can just tell like this was a mom that like coddled him, and like anytime he walks in the door today, there's like food waiting for him. She has all these little like trinkets in the yard and stuff. Very adorable. Don't like him, but okay, let's hear what Yannetti has to say about this.
Your Honor, Mr. Lally talked about the entirety of the key log and key card logs. I am seeking to introduce those now through this witness. Rather than do it before the jury, I figured I'd come to sidebar first.
Do you object to them coming in now?
No.
The only other issue, Your Honor, is I don't have a clean copy. I have ones that are highlighted. I know Mr. Lally has a clean copy. We can get a clean copy. Can I offer them? I can't see because of this thing.
Sorry, but this is so cute. Mrs. Lally was the Meatball Morrissey Sketty Stain's
substitute
teacher, and she was wonderful. I knew it. I could just feel it.
Oh, that's adorable.
Thank you.
Can I offer them now and then have them be marked as an exhibit at a later point?
You can use my copy. That's fine.
Can I use your copy?
That's fine.
Will you be questioning as well, or are you just putting the records in?
Just a few questions.
Okay, because I was going to say we can just do the records now if you want at sidebar.
That would be great.
All right, can I have your copy? That way they're... All right, so stay here. Does that make sense to both of you to do it this way instead of in front of the jury?
Makes no difference.
I think we can acknowledge that they've been introduced, but that's it.
All right.
A few
Your
things that
Your
before,
Lally
yeah.
is very Eeyore.
Sorry, I love Lally,
like
so I
it.
don't want to disparage him in any manner. What I love about Alan Jackson, Samantha, can you stop with the damn chat that we're talking? You and Miss Judy, oh, the damn chat. Sorry.
No, because people like Fervent said, Lally's mom said, Adam, no smoking in the house. That's hilarious.
Sorry, Mom. Yeah, Fervent can go up there. I love Fervent. Amazing, by the way. Love it. So the Alan Jackson placating Bev is very critical. And Samantha, maybe you see this when like you have a celebrity who's so nice to people in public and they're not being fake, but they have to learn this placation. And whenever Alan Jackson telling Bev how great her idea is, it's so great because he's totally playing her in that situation. That's the benefit of him coming from the California side and dealing with celebrity clients. That's the way you deal with Bev. You don't go after her and attack her. You have to placate her and tell how great her ideas are. And I don't care either way.
And I think Alan Jackson tried that for a little while and then realized that also wasn't getting him anywhere. So then when he came back in the second trial, he was like, F it. Like, I'm just going to say what I want to say.
Oh, really? Because I haven't really saw the
he
second
fights
trial
her.
sidebars yet. They get into...
And Alessi just owns her. Like, Alessi's like, you do what I tell you to do. And she's like, okay.
She hates him, though. She hates Alessi.
Yes.
Oh, my God. She hates him. It's amazing. It's really funny to watch.
I think she hates him, but like respects him more than she respected AJ.
Maybe.
Like I feel like she listened or she gets bossed around by Alessi a little bit. Anyway, we'll never get there.
She can't take his pace. She likes things to move quickly in the courtroom, and Alessi drags everything out, and you can see that she's like, all right, let's go. Like she's always trying to push him to move faster. Which is
She never pushes Lally to move faster though.
Doctor.
Thank you.
Only the defense.
I
No,
only
she
have
does
one
push
speed.
Lassie. She does pull Lally. Remember when she's
she
like,
does.
okay, enough about the snow, right?
Enough about the
Sorry,
snow.
Your Honor.
Enough about the house, okay? Like she
did say something about the waterfall. She's like, we get it. We know where everybody was sitting.
Right, yeah. This is the doctor that treats John at the hospital.
Oh.
Yeah.
This one's just quick.
You want me to look through each page or just acknowledge that?
Just as far as do you recognize
He's
that
another one that's funny. He's a funny one too, this guy.
Is a transcription or a copy of dictated.
I don't know what's happening.
And on the front page is also like a code sheet, which was signed off on detailing what resuscitative efforts, as in the specific.
I don't know what's happening.
That were performed on Mr. O'Keefe's behalf.
Thank you. Your Honor, with the court's permission, may the...
Yes.
And Your Honor, what I would seek to introduce in a minute is the next exhibit would be a redacted copy of those same records.
Okay, we're just gonna go. All right, just so it's clear, you've had this in discovery for a long time, correct?
Yes, redacted.
Keep your voice down.
It looks like
When we reenact this, you have to have, if they ever do a movie, the second Liza says anything, yes, and then you have to keep your voice down.
Shut up.
Oh my God. Yes, redacted. It looks like there's narratives that are included that weren't redacted, which is rank hearsay.
What do you say, Mr. Lally?
I think it goes to the medical diagnosis and treatment of the information he was provided.
I can't hear you.
Sorry.
Shut up, Miss Little.
I can't hear you because Miss Little's talking so loud.
Miss Little exists.
Sorry, I think it goes to the medical diagnosis and treatment of the information that he was provided in the course of treatment of
This patient.
This patient?
This patient. Oh, sorry.
All right, so he relied on that to treat the patient?
I think what counsel is referring to is that there are reports via EMS as far as what they had reported, and all of those witnesses also testified.
There's hearsay statements of EMS reporting what other people told them.
All right. Did you intend to publish this in some form?
No.
Then let's deal with this later and get some testimony going, okay? Okay, she does badger.
Sure.
So I will mark the redacted copy for identification because if you get to put it in. This is what they will be, what they put in. I need to look at it, and I don't want to do that now.
Sure.
All right, so for identification, please. She's like, I'm here
There's
to
my-
watch some testimony. Let's go.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
right.
like that. Oh, look at Bev looking at my Caribbean brother. I like that. Look at that smile.
So this is as
Those of you that don't
coming
know,
in.
I'm what? Yeah, my mom's Jamaican, so I can recognize Caribbean men and women easily.
He did the alcohol testing and gave like this ridiculous range. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. So I just want to say that I came out into the courtroom at 1:20, thinking that if you hadn't figured out SS, I would just take a look at it. And it was sitting there. So I assumed that was done. Why wasn't that done?
I am so sorry. I thought you said 2 o'clock. So for some reason in my brain, I thought we were coming back from lunch at 2 o'clock. So it's my fault. But I do have the redactions for you. They are sitting on my desk.
All right. And you're in agreement with them?
I just need to, I'm assuming I know what they are, but
All right. So this is what I tried to avoid.
I know.
All right. So what did you want to come to sidebar for?
Your Honor, just as far as I know, there's been some opposition. I'm seeking a ruling from the court as far as the admissibility of the results. If the court wants, I can obviously bring the phlebotomist in, but I think the evidence is...
Now, do you still have an objection? It sounded like you didn't really have an objection.
No.
Okay, so no objection. Okay, so we'll go forward. Just move it along.
She's so
Thank
funny.
you, Your Honor.
She's like, I drank a Red Bull. I'm ready to go.
Let's
Why
go.
are we doing testimony?
There's something, you girls probably don't get this, but Emily, when you start to fake yell, there's almost a real yell, and it does send shivers into guys. I don't know if any guys watching, because we all have like mommy issues. There's a yell that only a mom can do or a woman can do, and sometimes you're channeling that with your Bev, and you get me scared.
That's what made me a good teacher, is that I had a little something hidden
Oh,
that
yeah.
kids were
I can
like,
see
I
that.
don't think I want to know what that was. And really, it's just...
It's not. And by the way, after Emily and I did our first show together, her mom communicated with me saying how right I was, that Emily does have this side streak that could be very nasty, and that she's fooling everybody with it. And tell the truth, Emily, that's what she said.
I got to find my mom's actual
Is that correct?
This disc with the wording on it?
Yes.
No.
This is not
I like
Dr.
this
Justin
guy.
Rice. This is the...
No,
this is
sorry.
Even shown
Okay.
that.
This is...
Hold on, what's going on here? What are we doing?
This is Jutras. This is the... I didn't change that.
This is the plow guy,
Jutras-
isn't it?
Yeah, this is...
No, this is the IT guy from the Canton Library.
Right.
And
Yes.
Proctor took what he gave. So Jutras gave Proctor a CD with the videos on it. And then they made a new CD. And Lally hands it to him and is like, you know what's on this, right? And he's like, I've never seen this before in my life. And Lally's like, yeah, but like, you know what it is, right? And he's like, well, like, I can't see what's on it. And I've never seen this CD before in my life. And Lally's literally like, but just like say that you know what's on it. And he's like, if
Come
this is, oh
on.
yeah, he says, this is not my desk. Okay, wait, let me start him over. And sorry about that.
Interesting.
I was doing that quickly.
But I have a question for this, Emily. Did we ever see Karen's car cross at 12:16 in any of the trials?
I'm not the one to add. You guys watched, in the trial, because you guys
In
have
the
been
trials.
like,
I know that
in
Yannetti
the
references it
pre-trial motion.
right, but I don't recall seeing that car or Jen McCabe's car crossing at 12:14 in the trial either.
No.
And why I say this, Corey, this is how important Corey Hopkins is to this case for both sides, because with those timestamps, we erased the possibility that John was in the house going up down the flight and being there before 12:24, because we know the route that the phone took and that it takes 9 minutes for that route to occur. The visual is so critical because it's 12:16 for Karen's car. And I'm wondering why that wasn't ever brought out in either case, either trial.
I don't think it was important enough.
Yeah.
Because they also don't stress the steps, right? I mean, I don't remember the steps being stressed either.
Really? Because in the first trial it would have to be, because we're talking about the up and down 3 flights, the walking. They measured out the steps from the flagpole to the front of the house being.
That
Those
was
are
from the
different steps.
private. Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are the later steps.
There's only 32 steps, right? At 1232.
Right. Those are those
Or
steps.
36
You're
steps.
talking about the first steps, the 1221 steps. You're talking about
Right.
different steps. That's
Was there any energy spent on those steps in any of the trial?
Was there energy spent?
I don't think so, because it wouldn't have helped the prosecution, and so they didn't put it on. And then the defense hardly put on a case in the first trial, and then the second trial they just focused on John wasn't hit by a car and a car didn't hit John O'Keefe. So it was it kind of didn't fit in either.
Right. So the big thing was 1236. The big thing with the first trial was that the original in opening statements, Lally says 1245 because they're going by Jen's eyewitness. And then the whole thing was that she's back by 1236. That comes out by Nick, as per Nicholas Garino, which is the prosecution's, guy. So I don't remember the steps being a significant discussion. I don't remember 12. It was brought up that there was the possibility that they could have been there 3 minutes before, as per Waze, and Green brings up that there were steps, but I don't think it was this big thing beyond that. I think Richard Green just brings it up.
Right. Well, then again, you're right, because they have Garino up there testifying that the flights were taking place during the time for which they weren't at the house. So I guess the prosecution, I don't know why the prosecution is bringing that up, but there had to have been some energy spent. Point is that it's clear that that couldn't have occurred given the route that she took. And it was just never made clear to me until last week as to how long it took her to get to 34 Fairview from Waterfall. That's why I'm just thanking Corey for getting me that visual. I know that we had it, but I never saw it in the trials.
I'm just not sure that visual by itself gives us that information. It tells us what time she passed that library. It also shows us that there's no Colin Albert, by the way, but we'll just forget about that for a minute. Right. So
you're saying that plus the Ian Whiffen, the fact that Ian Whiffen said that she went down Oakdale, which is a very weird way to go because Cedar Crest is the main, you would know Cedar Crest if you've ever been over there.
Yeah, well, it's not even, it's the phone. The phone goes in a path. And if you map that path out.
It's Ian Whiffen, though, presenting that is what she's saying.
Yeah.
No, and also Garino, and it's coming from the phone. I mean, the phone's following the path of the actual street. It's not like he's mapping that out. It's literally following the street. It slows down at the stop signs. I mean, I'm not going to necessarily debate that at this point. She clearly was on Minecraft Road and then Oakdale. Right.
Because
are you girls still fighting that part?
I'm just saying, I don't know. I am not a cell phone expert enough to know this. So I'm not taking a position and I don't care one way or the other, whether he shows up at 1221, 1222, 1223, or 1224. Right. So for me, it makes no difference. I'm happy to go with whoever, it doesn't matter.
See, Corey, these girls don't appreciate you like I do.
That's not what we're saying at all.
No, it isn't.
Well, you guys gave me time to change this to the right person. I don't think he's a doctor, but now he is for the sake of this.
That's awesome. I also don't know who that is, but
he's the Canton IT.
No, who's Dr. Luis?
Him, this guy.
This disc wording on it? No, I have not seen this.
Not that specific disc, I'm sorry, sir. But the footage, have you been shown that particular video footage, or did you review that footage before you gave it to the trooper?
This is not mine to the trooper.
That's interesting.
I love Lally. Well, can't you just testify that it is? I don't know. I just don't know. Is there any objection to the video coming in?
I'm not going to object because he's never seen the disc. As long as I think he testified that he didn't watch the whole thing.
No.
He watched the beginning and the end just to make sure it was that time period. I mean, in a position of, I don't know for sure what's on there. I trust Lally's word that that's what he provided to us. So I can send the jurors out and have them come back and have them watch it if you want.
Are you going to play it now?
All I'm looking to do, Your Honor, is just putting it up on the screen from the two different time periods so the jury can get an orientation as to what they're looking at. I'm not playing any specific portion or directing him to anything because this witness didn't.
If I may have a moment.
Okay.
I'm not going to object. That can be introduced.
My
And then
apologies,
this is
Your
later.
Honor.
This is the end of the day. This is later.
Okay, so the total separate
Yeah,
thing?
We're in a new vibe now.
I gotta get. Hold on.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Lally changes from.
Yeah.
My apologies, Your Honor. I don't want to hold the jury up anymore, but so Lieutenant O'Hara would have been the next witness. He had a homicide that he called out to in Worcester, and then some other thing that he had to go assist in Rhode Island. So he is not available.
Okay, and plus, I didn't tell you that we were going to 4:30. Where do we stand? I know the jurors must be dying to know whether we are on schedule or not. I'm positive they were not wondering that. Especially, I would not have given these 3 days off had I known it was going to be behind. We have picked up the pace considerably, though.
I think we're a lot closer than we were coming in this week. I can say that.
Any idea when you might finish up?
Hopefully mid-July, by the end of the second week. There are a few witnesses that may take some time.
You're asking me?
I'm proud of you that you didn't make a dirty joke about any idea when you might finish up.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Wait, I missed that? I do get upset at myself if I miss things like that. Damn it.
I think we have 1 week with the defense case. We are talking the week of June 19th, maybe by the end of that week to finish up.
All right. So that actually puts us on schedule, which I'm going to tell them today. Next week, we are a full day Monday, down Tuesday, full day Wednesday, half day Thursday, off Friday.
Oh, off Friday too? Okay.
You have to love government work, man. It is so great. They just love getting out at that whistle 4:30. You could take a Friday off. It's just a different mentality.
Yeah, she's the worst.
And
Kevin
she's always
O'Hara.
She's like, the court officers are going to be upset. Like, you're letting them leave 2 hours early. I don't think they're going to be upset. Oh, you're right. It's a half day. A half day.
Did they get off early a lot during trial one?
Yes.
It seemed like
and
it.
like, if it was hot, they like canceled court altogether. If it was like,
It's true.
yeah, all the time she'd be like, "Oh, there's no more witnesses." They're like, "Yeah, we actually have." She's like, "Okay, we're done for the day."
Oh,
Right,
so
because
they
the
got off.
air conditioning didn't work well. So they had to, you couldn't
Oh.
hear over the air conditioning. So there was this whole thing about it being too hot. It was a nightmare.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll make
I
no
love
more
this
jokes
guy.
about getting off.
Here's in minutes the next exhibits.
Any objection, Mr. Yannetti?
There's no objection, Your Honor. Thank you.
This guy's a fun one.
What you have up on the screen before you, is that what you have as exhibit 130?
Can I ask a question about this? Do we
Sure.
think that if they had presented, so let's say that the defense had taken the time to do what you and your expert looked at, which was compare
I'm sorry.
the pieces of taillight. Do you think, I mean, they're clearly not the same. Do you think they're not the same enough for the defense to have brought that up in trial? Because they're not the same.
I think that would have been a really hard sell. I thought about that actually when I was watching your video about it, because I think it would have been one of those things where they would have, like, the way that Vince makes fun of Yannetti's questioning of the like, and then you adjust the clock here, and then you do this, and then you do that. I feel like it would have turned into, do you see how that is sloping downwards? Is
Right.
the other one sloping downwards the same way? Like kind of the way when Alessi was questioning Maureen Hartnett about the hair, and he was like, do you see it was a J shape? And then in this one, it's not a
Yeah.
J shape, and it just got really clunky. I
Yeah.
think if that was, if the pieces were more off, maybe, but I think it would have gotten really clunky. If that was all they had, I guess they would have had to, but.
So part of Sam's theory,
question.
your theory is basically that perhaps there were pieces of taillight that were planted that weren't part of Karen's car, and somehow you attribute that to me. I never said that, but I mean, it's plausible that it could happen.
Well,
and then
I don't know what you said, but you brought it into my mind. And then later we sort of brought it up. And then Emily actually was in the middle of a video with an expert who points out that they are not the same. And if it wasn't for Emily, because she's done a great job of actually highlighting the trial, I guess, what are they? They were photos, images that were presented during the trial that highlight where the different pieces came from on different days. So you can actually see the 3 pieces of red that they allegedly pulled from the CERT team. This is those images, which were completely botched. This is not how photography is done at the scene. So forget about that for a second. But when you take the time to actually compare the ones that they used in the reconstruction of the taillight and the ones that are here right now, they are not the same. They do not line up. They're close, but they are definitely not the same pieces of taillight.
What's really weird to me is how close they are. Like almost like the photos would have had. It makes me think that those were doctored and not the real photos, because they were close enough that if you were breaking 2 different taillights, you wouldn't have been able to like intentionally break pieces that looked quite so similar. I don't know. This is where I also feel like I get like we sound like real tinfoil hatty right now.
But they're not. They just aren't the same.
No, I agree, but I feel like that's a rabbit hole that like is a little bit like
it is a rabbit hole, but they're not the same, and that's the part that it is odd. It is odd. I have thought a lot about it, but they're not the same pieces nonetheless.
Yeah, and that's a thing you have to make in terms of just a judgment call when you're presenting your case, if you're the prosecution or the defense. Is it something that's too hard to simply explain and we'll just lose our audience with regard to it? I don't know. But I mean, I want to see that video that you did. And I think we missed a few questions while we were yapping about this. Emily, did we?
About what?
Anything. I don't know. I just saw some your super chats go by.
Let me keep playing this and I'll see.
This is the flagpole in front of the house. As you move south, this appears to be one of the pieces of taillight that we recovered.
Look at it on top of that mountain.
I
of
know.
snow.
It was sitting on top of the mountain of snow, but it was underneath all the snow.
Oh my God! These girls don't let me use my family's racial slurs, but please, blank, please. That thing's right on top of the snow. How would not anyone run over that in the morning when we see Sarif there? We have all the video now. There's no way you would miss that. That's
Also, there was no snow when they're alleging that Karen hit John. None.
Exactly.
Not at all.
None. No, it's so ridiculous.
Not Cupcakes would be a good paralegal for Corey for this. Why couldn't they use the key swipes to prove what time Devers left the police station on January 29th?
Well, that's exactly what. Yeah, that's where Corey's going with that.
Okay.
Well, they couldn't prove. I guess with the key swipe, you can't prove when somebody left. You can only prove when they came in because you don't have to swipe to leave.
That's what it. Yes, that's what it was. They couldn't. Yes, you're right.
But either way, had she utilized those swipes, when we don't know, we're just speculating. The only thing that they are going on is a blanket time frame for which she was paid to work. So it said clocked out at 3, not physically clocked out. Her shift ended at 3:15. So if we have any swipes past that, then perhaps she was there. So
Sure.
it is important to get.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
Yeah.
I tend to think she wasn't at this point, but that's my personal belief.
And Emily, we never spoke about your opinion on Officer Dever with the new documents and information that Corey got with regard to her recordings. Do you have any opinion change about her?
That she was good at her job. Is that what you're talking about? Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought but it is very funny hearing her voice on the 911 calls now that we know her. Like, it took me a second to kind of like erase the image of her rolling her eyes at Bev and being like so short when I heard her voice, because that was kind of like what I was expecting. And then as I listened more to those recordings, I was like, oh, she is like very good at this. And that kind of like dry, unemotional person is like who you kind of want in a crisis, where she's just relaying the facts. She like has Karen's panicking parents on the phone, and she's like, your daughter is safe, like we're getting her help, I'll call you back with more information. And she's not too short with them, but she's also not like, I'm so sorry. Like, I'd be like, you guys, like, is there any, come over, do you need a hug?
How about Sarah? This guy got a drug problem? Sarah in that like sort of like Italian accent. You know if he does drugs? You know, like it's just so nonchalant.
The big guy.
Yeah, Sarah.
He's funny. Okay, I just want to make sure there's no confusion. The exhibits, when they were shown to me, all had exhibit numbers on them dated April 30th with the court reporter's initials. Were those, I want to know what those were. Were those pre-marked and never introduced into evidence? Because the way they look to me, the trial started on April 29th. I thought these were in based on what I was looking at.
If I may, just for the record, this is the court. Oh, no, this is the court reporter speaking. I put a slash mark in all of those. Those were never entered. They were pre-trial in agreement or pre-witness in agreement.
I see.
I put a slash through each one. That's what took me so long.
So they were never introduced.
They were never introduced. And then the numbers, these exhibits too.
I just wanted to make sure.
So a lot of people that don't understand what's going on with these trials, the actual system for which you document which piece of evidence is labeled as to what is so important to the people that are working, the judge and the actual court reporter, and probably more important than even making a decision on objections and rulings. They take so much time to make sure that they have their system going. For some reason, now, I came from a different form where it's arbitration, where you can basically introduce even hearsay. So I never had to deal with this issue, but they are so meticulous with regard to this. It's a government function, and it's not as if that they have grit and they have desire to do this. It's just that they have to keep this housekeeping going. So that's why you see so much time and effort as to marking these stupid exhibits. Technically, the parties can stipulate to a lot of evidence before they actually get to the trial. Some trials, especially in federal court, they mandate that you stipulate to almost everything, meaning that you don't have to ask if this is going in. You already stipulated to it. We can mark it. See, like those exhibit things right there, that could be from the actual trial, or it could be from a deposition if they had it, but I don't think they did in this case. But that's so important.
It says the date on it.
It drives me crazy though that the like exhibit marker, and I asked Trial Channel about this because this was the first trial I had ever watched, and I was like, is that normal? And she was like, yeah, that's how like all the exhibit markers are. It is so odd to me that to put a photo into evidence, all you have to do is be like Exhibit 8 and we're entering, or it's I don't even know what the April 29th, 2024 is, like the day it's entered in evidence or something. Why don't they have to put like place the picture was taken, time the picture was taken, date the picture was taken, description of the picture? Like, it just feels like if you're entering something into evidence, there would be like this same little sticker, but it would have a whole thing to fill out that would actually help you know what the evidence is.
But wait a minute, this is going in the context. So like when the whole point of the exhibit numbers and the reason why they don't do that is because they don't want to add anything else to the jury's mind about what's coming in. So this is all about how the jury is going to experience this information.
See, right? You're smart. How do you know that?
Okay, see, that makes sense. It's annoying for me when I'm like looking at this and I'm like, this picture was taken on an old potato and it's just Exhibit 8 and we have no other information about it.
Right. Like, you have to go back to the trial transcript to get it.
Yeah. Why was that picture taken in 1971? This took place in 2020.
When could that picture have possibly been taken?
Who took this picture?
No, seriously though, it's dark. There's a lot of snow on the ground.
I don't know.
Like when
could
was
be-
that?
That also could be.
CERT team?
I think this picture could also have been early in the morning because there's not a ton of snow. Like if you look at the roof, this could have been like when CPD was there and they took that picture, like when they're leaving or something, and then they just turned brightness down, or they just literally took it on an old potato and that's how it came out.
Yeah, that
Like
could
it
be.
looks like a picture that would be in like your grandmother's photo album where she'd be like, "Oh, this was the house I grew up in.
Totally.
In 1951, I used to play on the tire swing off to the side."
Something like that for sure.
Like why Canton has very high taxes. You would think that they would be. That's not what I meant to do. Sorry, everybody. You would think that they would have like cameras that function. They don't have any cameras that function. Maureen Hart. Yeah.
But the good news is in Gillette Stadium, we have at least 17 cameras on the goal line in case you move the inflatable ball near it. We have high def that you can zoom right in. It's amazing.
They have heaters that melt the snow on the field. So if there's a big snowstorm the night before a game, they can heat the entire field to melt all the snow. And yet, Proctor and Yuri had to drive by 34 Fairview every day for 3.5 weeks, watching the snow melt and fall and melt and fall and melt and fall again.
That's right. So ridiculous.
Now, ma'am, with reference to the other photographs that I think you still have before you that I gave you when the photographer was marking the last batch, do you recognize generally what's depicted in those photographs?
Yes, I do.
And what do you recognize those to be?
These are photographs of item 7-17, the orange T-shirt that was in.
I just think this is really funny. Number one, Trial Channel sped this up when she was uploading it, and number two, everybody back here is falling asleep, and I just feel like the sped up video is because she was probably also falling asleep.
Totally. It's
John O'Keefe.
So unprofessional.
From those photographs, is that a fair and accurate portrayal of what you observed as far as the orange T-shirt was concerned in your lab that day?
Yes, that's correct.
May I approach again, Your Honor?
Yes.
Do we have a lot of duplicates, or does it just seem to me that there's a lot of duplicates here and it's taking forever to put them into evidence?
I don't believe that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't believe that there is.
All right. This reminds me of the 100 exhibits of snow. Are we doing a lot of repetitive things here, Mr. Lally?
No, Your Honor. What I'm trying to do is establish each of the areas that were marked and subsequently tested by her, and then there are further swabs taken that are then tested in the DNA lab.
I understand that, but there are numbers like 5, 6, 7, 8 that are shown 2 and 3 times, right? Close-ups, perhaps?
I mean, I did with 1 through 5, but then what I wanted to do is skip over that as far as 12 through 11. I'm sorry, 6 through 11. 12 and 13 are different areas of items of clothing. So that's what I've shown those. But again, I don't need to do this for every single one. I just want to establish the process and how they're labeled. And then they're going to have the photographs for themselves. I'm not looking to publish every single photograph.
The publishing takes 2 seconds. It's this that takes forever. How many more?
For this witness, as far as groupings, it's just the orange T-shirt, the jeans, the sneakers, and his fingernails, which I don't need to do anything with those. And as far as publishing those, I'm not really looking, like I said, I was establishing through this item of clothing and then...
Is that it for the rest of the day? Or is your whole left hand?
Ooh, that's for MX Valier.
Mix. All right. Hold on 1 second, please. All right. We'll take a luncheon break. I'll see counsel back here at 1:30.
Are we just going to
Lally,
gloss over the MX, by the way?
Mix. Yes. It's mix.
How are you
Valier.
pronouncing it?
Mix.
Samantha?
Mix.
So
How
we're
else would
okay
I
with someone
pronounce
coming
that?
in with a pronoun with mix?
They don't
MX?
though. I actually don't think that they do reference
Yeah.
them as mixed, do they? During the
Yeah,
trial?
Lally does. Lally's actually very respectful to like cautious about it. And there was
That's
a
right, I
sidebar
am.
where he approaches Yannetti and Bev and explains like how to pronounce mix and that is Ash's pronoun.
I'm a
Okay.
big fan of the LGBTQTX. They love me.
I have nothing further on.
She's a mix.
On that limited
No,
bit?
no, no. Nope. That's
No.
not Ashley. Ashley's the taillight reconstruction. There's actually a really good cross with that. Really good cross with
That's the evidence submission form.
Yannetti.
Hmm.
Yes, that's correct.
Who signed that form?
This is as boring as it gets until Alessi takes over.
So the objection
Then it's
sustained
less
unless you
boring.
want to see me at sidebar.
I'll ask it a different way. Whose name is on the bottom of the form?
Objection.
It's the same question. Do you want to come up? Do you want?
Jackson's
Proctor?
basically just trying to get her to say Proctor because at this point, I think he was still worried that they weren't going to call Proctor. And so he was just trying to get everybody that he could to just mention the name Proctor.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what is your objection?
It's beyond the scope.
It is beyond the scope. Are you getting into this very limited redirect?
Because the entire issue is that
Sorry, that's my fault, Nancy.
it probably technically is, but if I could ask to reopen, it calls for one question.
No, it's beyond the scope.
I can get it in through Trooper Proctor, but it's so much easier to ask her one question. Who signed it?
It's hearsay. It's hearsay. It's beyond the scope. You can get it in through Proctor.
Okay,
I'm convinced you'll be able to get it in at some point,
I will.
but just not here. I'm not going to start relaxing that.
All right, that's fair.
This is now flash forward. Yannetti is about to start the cross of
So do we all understand what beyond the scope means?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, sorry. Sorry, everyone's so smart in this room.
It's like only so like in direct, if they asked about like these certain topics, then you can't also be like, and what about this other thing that I really want to ask you about, but I can't get into it because it's beyond the scope. That just came up in Corey Richan's case because
It did.
the defense is having to recall some of the state's witnesses because they want to direct examine them, and they were like all butthurt about it.
Right. So if you're asking someone on direct examination a scope of questions, and then when you cross-examine, technically you're only limited to the questions that were asked in the original. And then when you have a redirect, you can only ask that was in the cross, and then the next one that you do, it keeps getting smaller and smaller and smaller. Yes. You can't just bring up
How do
something
they keep
totally
track
random.
of, like, if you have somebody on the stand for so much, like you have Higgins on the stand for like 4 days, like how do you keep track of every single topic that you touched on? And
Yeah. I mean, the reality is you'll be able to get it in somehow, but unless it's, you'll see, it would be so random. If you start asking Higgins about his wife and you never heard it before, then perhaps they'll sustain
he
that
doesn't
objection.
have a wife. He doesn't have the real deal.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he did. Higgins was married, but she had already had a kid when they got married.
Was he married? I thought that they weren't married.
You got to know your suspect. He was married. She had a kid.
She had a kid. Mm-hmm.
That was in the text. Yeah, that was in the text
Yeah,
messages that were in the first trial.
No, I
He
remember that
discloses
part. I
that
just
to
didn't
Karen.
remember they were married, but I guess they were married. Yeah, I remember that. He says he had a. Yep, I get it.
Your girl wants to know what sea creature you are today.
Is anyone labeled douchey? Any of those? No? What's the one that's closest?
I think you've been on your best behavior.
Really?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Stress
today? No, but I'll pick. Not much. I was tired, so that little tired fish there.
Where's the tired?
He's cute. He's in the
Oh,
corner
look
there.
at the sad guy.
Where's the hungover fish still?
You're still hungover.
Sick.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess we'll go with that. What is that, Emily? Bottom right.
It's a seal, isn't it?
That's
Emily.
yeah.
How
And
pretty is Corey
the
Hopkins?
thermometer could be your Lally cigarette. She's so pretty.
Yeah, but how
She's
good looking is
perfect.
Corey Hopkins? She's the only person I know that both
beautiful.
guys and girls want to be with her.
Also,
I
some
didn't
people
say I
just
wanted
say they're
to
beautiful
be
without
with
wanting to
her.
be. Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't.
Well, I know
thinking
you
that,
broads don't want to be with her, but
Okay.
Okay, are we doing this? Yeah.
Yes.
Your Honor, I want this to go as smoothly as possible. I have photographs that I ultimately will be displaying to the jury. 9 of them, I believe, are in evidence. 2 are not. The ones that are not are the front evidence bags of some of the exhibits that were mentioned by Mr. Lally. I've altered them of what I want to introduce.
Alerted them. Do you have any objection?
well, I alerted. Oh, okay. No, I think they should all be entered.
I can't hear you.
I'm sorry. I don't have any objection. I think they should all be in evidence. No objection.
Do you think they should be in evidence? Do you think they are in evidence?
That was my intention, was to put a photograph of each of the evidence bags in. But if they are not,
I think what he did.
No, that's okay. You don't think they are.
I don't think they are.
And you can't tell me where they are.
I can't. I mean, with regard to the court reporter, I have my own internal numbering system. If we could put the exhibit sticker over my writing, is that okay?
Yes.
Terrific. That's it.
Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor.
We will get this witness out of here. I promised the judge. Isn't she the judge?
Right? I don't have more than, I don't think I'll be 30 minutes.
Okay.
oh, who's this?
Christina Hanley.
DNA? Is that DNA? Christina Hanley?
Yes.
She's a evidence
one of the
tech
lab
something.
people.
She's a lab person.
Corey, how'd we miss this one?
This is before AJ begins his cross. So I'm glad I had the opportunity to look at this before the break, and I'm still where I am at with this argument. So I'll let you put on the pictures of 3-2, 3-3, 7-12, and 7-14, and ask those questions about where things are found. Anything under that is not permitted.
Can I show her so she can go back to tracking of this because?
Ask her if it will help her.
Okay, sure. At this point, my intention is to simply ask her if it tracks with her testimony a few minutes ago, which, as the court can tell, is extraordinarily complicated when you talk about all the numbers.
I don't think it is. I think that's much more simply.
Because you have this.
No, I didn't look at this when I just did that.
Okay.
So let's try it without, okay?
Sure.
Okay, thank you. And this has to be marked for identification, and your rights are saved on this.
And I may use that with this witness.
If it will help her.
Okay, I'll ask her.
Okay.
Thank you.
She did the glass, so she was identifying for 3-3 and 7-6 didn't go with this, and one piece of glass didn't match.
Oh, this is the one that Karen references, remember?
Okay, and my question is it relied on by the lab for truth and accuracy, as best you can maintain it, to track items of evidence within the lab?
Yes, it does track items.
And the information contained in the report is presumed by you and other supervisors at the lab to be accurate. Is that right?
Yes.
Your Honor, I would move for the admission of BB as an exhibit.
Objection.
See that? We'll see you at 7. Objection.
I love Lally. He doesn't even know. You can just say objection.
Your objection, Mr. Lally?
Yeah.
Hearsay, and it's a report, is what it is.
It falls under the business record exception.
I don't see this as a business record.
If it's been maintained in the regular course of business, the items are established at or near the time of the event in question. They are relied on routinely by the lab and maintain their accuracy. How is that not a business record?
I'm not letting this in. What I'll do is let me think about it, okay?
Sure.
I may change my ruling. I haven't even had a chance to take a look at this yet.
That's fine. I don't necessarily need it right now. I'm not going to show it.
You cannot show it.
I wasn't planning on it.
Okay.
Can I give this back to the...
I don't know what was cut off.
I think
Yes,
that was
and I want him to take the Post-its off, okay?
Yes. I'm sorry, Your Honor. My request that Sidebar is reserved.
Yes.
The hell's
Like-
going on there?
They're both saying the same thing, but Bev is like, I want to be right. So let me be right, and I'm the one bossing you to do it. You don't get to decide.
Okay, I want to try if I can, see how well it goes, to clear that up and categorize those.
Sure. Well, time out for 1 second.
Put the
I think they wanted to use a demonstrative here, and she wouldn't let that happen because they were really concerned, and it does fall flat, that this really important detail about the glass not matching the glass that came from Karen's car, the glass that John was holding, that doesn't really come through. And they felt this was critical evidence that did not come through because she wouldn't allow that demonstrative.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And can
and
you
that's what they
explain that a
get
little
in
bit
the-
more, Sam? So you're saying that the glass that was found where doesn't match what?
The glass that was found at the scene does not match the tall glass that John O'Keefe is skipping into 34 Fairview with.
Could Higgins have hit John with a glass? Holding the glass
Maybe.
and hit him.
I doubt it, but it's not impossible.
So then what is the glass doing there then?
I mean, I guess maybe he has to. I don't know.
Actually, no, you're right. I mean, was a glass found next to John's body, correct?
No, it was like on the bumper of the car, right?
All right.
So there was
I
a
thought there
piece
was
of
two.
glass found on the
Yeah.
bumper that
Right, yes.
the car had gone all over the place. The car went to Fairview, to Jen McCabe's, to Dighton on the tow truck, the tow truck that literally like you drive up a ramp
Got it.
to get onto. And then when they get to the
Yeah, that's right.
Canton Sallyport, they said that there was just a piece of glass on the bumper. And the glass didn't match the cup that John was holding. There were no pieces of actual glass, not plexiglass, in the actual broken taillight. Basically, I think like Proctor just picked up a piece of glass that was like laying on the ground and was like, guys, like, look, if I put the glass here, then like for sure we could get a conviction.
Such idiot.
Where is the broken glass though? The actual cup.
There's a piece of it. They just have
Is
I thought
there-
we saw-
Yeah, let's look at this
Yes.
again.
Yeah, where is that?
Is
found?
that the glass though that was I don't remember this part exactly. Is this the glass that was the one that John was holding or no?
I mean, we don't know for sure, but he was holding a glass, and then that little piece of glass, that little bottom butt of the glass, is what Gallagher finds with the leaf blower in the morning. So
But that
he
doesn't look
find-
like the pint glass.
He didn't have. He would have had Karen's drink. Remember, Karen said in the documentary that he grabs
took my
her vodka soda. Is it vodka soda?
He took my full vodka soda.
Yeah, but that's
Yeah.
not that glass, right? Because
So that's why I'm
was tall
asking.
glass.
Right. That looks like a glass you would drink Jameson and ginger out of, although I'm not an alcohol expert.
Can't tell. That looks like a tall, thinner glass than the small Jameson and ginger glass.
Okay.
I can't tell from this is a really bad picture, so I'm not sure. But it doesn't look like the pint glass, and I don't remember this. I did know it. I don't remember it now.
So that's fucking interesting, though, because if that glass is found next to John's body, they had to put it there, meaning Brian Albert / Brian Higgins. And so why would they put it there?
Because they wanted to make it look like he was hit by something and just fell over, and then he was walking up. Jennifer McCabe gives this away in her 911 call because she says which you have never listened to. You've never listened to the
yes, I
analysis.
have.
You
5 times.
absolutely have not. You have no idea what you're talking about. Jennifer McCabe's 911 call. Do not even try. I've been through this so many times, and if you listen for a second, you would know what I'm talking about, but you don't because you insist that she can't know, which is complete confirmation bias, by the way. But anyway, she gives it away because she says, he gets out of the car, and then, now listen, if you really had no idea and you saw John and Karen pull up and you think they never came in the house, your assumption would be that they drove away. You would never talk about him getting out of the car at that moment unless you knew he got out of the car. So she tells us that because that was what they were planning before they decided to put it on Karen. So this was supposed to be John walking up into the house. Karen doesn't see it. He slips, he falls, or he gets hit.
Fine. But where is this glass coming from?
Next to him outside.
All right. So if it's not the one that he was holding, which we're not sure, but we could find out, obviously, right? Because we see Karen take the glass from C.F. McCarthy's. And then if that's the glass that she saw John take from her car, obviously, then if it's not that glass, which we can find out, then where did that glass come from that Brian Albert put there?
Right.
It's almost like if the police had gone inside the house and said, hey, let me see what your glassware looks like, because typically in a nice suburban Canton home, you have matching glassware. And oh my goodness, this matches your glassware. Did John come in the house?
Which they never bring up.
Does that look more like a rectangle type bottom as opposed to the cylinder that Karen was drinking in that glass?
It looks like a rectangle.
You know,
it
like,
looks
you know,
like
like
a
some
smaller circle. Doesn't it?
Okay.
It looks like
Oh, you're right. It is circle. Can we match that with?
Oh, that looks like a rocks glass almost, right?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Like kind of what you were saying.
Bourbon.
Like a bourbon drink. You were saying, like the Jameson and ginger.
God,
with
but
the thick bottom.
But that's Corey prefers that. The glass, though, if they took that glass from inside the house, wouldn't that be crazy of Brian Albert to do? I don't think he would do that, but there's got to be an origin to this glass. Like, where was that glass at 12 midnight? That particular glass that wasn't broken yet, presumably.
We don't know.
That's crazy. So that was because we know that it's there in the morning. It's not planted by anyone besides someone who actually planted John's body. And there's no way he could hold a glass and his phone and get hit by a car and have it land right next to him at the flagpole. So that was put there. And if we could just determine exactly where this glass came from.
Right.
And that shouldn't be that hard because how would Brian Albert get a glass between 12:35 and 6 o'clock in the morning that isn't from his house? Unless that's a glass that he took from Karen's car. Karen knows the answer. Obviously, she could tell if that's the glass that she had.
I don't think it matches, though. I thought we knew that. I gotta have to look again. I don't remember. I know that the defense questions. I'm not sure if it's this person, but questions somebody about whether they ever looked in the house to see if the glass matched. And
yes, they do.
didn't.
That was Lank was asked about that, or the possibility that he could have done that, right? But you're not going to get an answer from him because he just went in the house and talked to Brian Albert. He didn't investigate.
Right.
Just social conversation.
Well, C.F. McCarthy's would know if this is their glass. I don't think Karen ever takes a drink at the waterfall. From their glass. So, good.
Higgins says something in one of his police interviews where he's like, I know it's not the glass from the waterfall because theirs has like bubbles in it.
He knows. Yeah. And it's interesting that he would even
Why would Brian
remember
Higgins mention that?
Well, why? Is because if this wasn't the glass that John was holding, then they took a glass from somewhere else. I just can't imagine those two doing this or coming up with that. You would almost think this have to be the glass that was in Karen's car that he took. Or they planted it from a different source.
To make it look like it was.
Obviously, but they're like, that is very risky to do. Otherwise, just don't even plant it at all. But you're right, like, to think about it, like, to put the glass next. Yeah, because that makes it seem like he's drinking, he's drunk, he must have slipped, he had it in his hand. But I couldn't imagine them using a different glass.
It's a good question.
Like, are those even the same glasses?
Well, can we get the CF McCarthy video? Will have there's a clear shot of her glass, but it looks like a cylinder.
Yeah,
Then again,
looks
I'm
like a
not
pint
100%
glass, right?
Really?
Looks like
No, a pint I would say goes
glass.
out. Like this, I
It does
thought.
drink 9 drinks.
I thought it was
What
a pint
is
glass,
it?
but I didn't study it. So to be fair, I don't know for sure.
No, we need to see that video. No, she slurps them down good, man. But she's using the straw and there's ice in it.
Yeah, those. Yeah,
I didn't see 9.
Write yourself a note to look this up. Write yourself a note.
Actually,
right now.
though, I think Steve McCarthy's. I think my sister and I went there, and I'm pretty sure that the drink that my sister ordered was extremely strong. I don't know that that's matters at all, but I just remember, like, it
That's
was
funny.
not drinkable strong.
Now, I normally would say it was so strong Jackie started to date
No,
white
we did
guys
not
at that
drink-
night,
nobody
but I will
drank
not
it.
say that.
Nobody
That's how
drank
strong
it.
it was.
Yeah.
They also seem like a place where everything comes in like a beer glass. Like, even if you get a vodka soda or something, it comes in like a beer glass with like a Celtics logo on it or something.
Right. That's what I thought she was drinking.
Did
out
your
of, but I
girl
might
put up
be
the
wrong.
CF McCarthy video? I need to see this glass now. That I'm gonna obsess over it.
Write yourself a note.
Yeah. McCarthy's video.
Sam, I don't want to keep. Do you still have a heart out?
I do. Oh my God, I cannot believe it's already been 2 hours. I do have a heart out. Okay,
know.
so I guess that means is Loophole taking over the defense team?
Oh no.
Who's doing
Yeah, we'll figure it out, Sam.
All right. I gotta go to Koreatown. So we will
You guys were
see
losing Sam.
Bye.
I won't wish you good
You
luck.
have a link.
How do I
and
to you?
Yeah,
Thank
Corey,
you,
you're
you're the best.
how do I? Corey, you're a partner now. You can come on these shows.
Bye, you guys.
Bye,
Thanks for
Sam.
having
Thank
me,
you.
Emily.
See you tomorrow, I
You're the
guess, right?
best.
See you tomorrow.
For your nooner.
Exactly.
Do you want to do a fervent break and then we'll figure out our
Yes.
new plan, and that will give Corey enough time to
Come on,
get
Corey.
up here, Corey. Let's go.
She can put on a mask or something.
What fervent song? Oh, she doesn't even have to come on camera. She can just read.
No.
What fervent song do you want to hear?
You know what song I want.
You want
Can
your
you get it
Lally
from?
song?
Yeah, can we get the full video though? Because I need to see the video.
I have yours. I have it
Alright,
saved
thank
as
you.
Loophole's Lally.
Thank you. Well, it's fervent. I'll never take credit for it. Fervent did it all. I just put in the visual. Thank you, fervent.
Okay, see you
We'll
guys
be
in
back.
a couple minutes. We'll do Hank too, just because they go together.
Biting my tongue for so long. Fuck you, Hank. Think you're better than me. Fuck you, Hank. You are not Lally. Fuck you, Hank. Think you're better than me. Fuck you, Hank. But why don't we see? I'm a basic kind of guy. I really don't need a flaunt. Smoking 6 packs a day and I'm happy as a hog. All I do is mumble. Do I really need any lungs? The trial 1 jury was just like me. They were hung. Trial 2 came around and you wanna bench me? Not 1 guilty vote was embarrassing to see. Need to remind you that my jury was 9-3. Take your little OUI and get about the scene. Fuck you, Hank, Hank. Think you're better than me? Fuck you, Hank. You are not Lolly. Fuck you, Hank. Think you're better than me? Fuck you, Hank. Well, why don't we see? Oh, I know what will get us the win. Ask Rachel about his fucking ham sandwich again. That'll prove this beyond all reasonable doubt. Oh, who am I kidding? This shit is a rout.
It appears that I made a mistake.
You took this case so damn personally, and I hold that opinion to a scientific certainty. You weasel face, fuck bet, Arca Major P. Even with all the help you got from Beverly, standing ovation, What a robust cross. Psych. Your nerdy ass looks so fucking lost. Just think, $500,000 was all it cost to get our asses kicked in the fucking law. Fuck you, hey, hey. Think you're better than me? Fuck you, hey. You are not lolly. Fuck you, Hank. Think you're better than me? Fuck you, hey. Well, why don't we see? Why don't we see? Hey. Waiting for your response, Becky. Yeah, yeah.
Did I mention my jury was also hung?
Today we say a prayer for Adam Lally, the once mediocre prosecutor who stayed mediocre. May the Lord hear our prayer.
In the words of Auntie Bear, speak up loudly. Got $500,000 cause of your incompetency. Calling me a nerd with creativity. Your shit was boring just like your delivery. Your monotone ass can't demand more cash. Only idiot to use a hung jury as a brag. A lowly ADA, so you must be a hack. You don't wanna see me get spanky on the track. You ain't good enough to have a private practice. You ain't smart enough to hide your malpractice. I was the star, you were like a fading actress. Hope Welcher spreads his load all over your mattress. I know a lot of times that raps be fiction, but really let these next 2 bars sink in. You ain't skilled enough to get a conviction, even when in a corrupt jurisdiction. As for the aftermath, well, I'm making more cash. As for you, I think I saw you on DoorDash. Man, I kinda feel bad, sitting back with a laugh, counting up on my stacks. But let me end this quite plainly, just in case that your memory's hazy. It was confirmed on the stand that you're lazy when Rosemary made you her baby. Lolly wanna baba. Stank. Lolly wanna baba. Spank. Lolly wanna baba. Stank. Lolly wanna baba.
Oh, look how little I am. Hi down there. Vince, where'd you go? Okay. Let's think about how we're going to solve this problem. Because I like having a third person now. Me and Corey did them, just the 2 of us, but now that I've done it with a third person, I like that better.
That's what she said.
Oh, Vince. Bye. I have all the power now. Anybody want to come on and read? First person who says yes, I'll give you a link. Message me on Twitter if you do. I'll send you a link. We'll make a new friend.
It's funny how like most companies that change their name eventually get over the old name. I forgot even what Verizon used to be. And I thought Verizon was such a stupid name, but eventually you just use Verizon. Twitter, for some reason, I just can't call it X. I feel weird saying X.
It really is a really dumb name. It looks cool, like just to look at, but it is dumb.
It feels weird to say.
Yeah. Well, also, isn't one of Elon's kids' names like XYZ372?
Yeah, but I mean, I wouldn't care if the name was the same as a kid. It's just weird to say, oh, I posted on X. You feel like a douche when you say it, which is hard for me to.
Corey can't because she is going to a sporting event or something.
What kind of lesbian shit is that? Watching her boo play paddleball? What the hell is that?
I don't know, but lucky lady, and Corey is a fantastic human all around and great partner. So everybody's winning in that situation. Whoever sends me a message first, you get the link. We'll make a new friend.
You should ask Miss Judy to read.
Judy, let's do it.
Miss
You don't
Judy,
have
too.
to have the sidebars. They're on the screen.
Yeah, I don't even have them.
Do
But I'm Lally. I don't prepare.
you feel like you've learned, because you didn't follow the first trial or like dig into the first trial as much? Do you feel like doing these sidebars and seeing those clips like fills in some gaps for you about the first trial?
100%. It's interesting to see the various testimony, knowing what you know now. That's the beauty that we have, that I realized that none of the attorneys had when they were doing this initially. I want to
That
see
they-
what those girls had. So you're saying, out of respect to Aiden, you don't want to read the intercepted messages?
This is different. This is like his like entire phone, not about trial stuff, not about case stuff. It's like just his personal life, and that's like not cool to me.
But that's not what they were using. I mean, I don't.
No,
I totally. I
this is
tune out.
something. These are two completely separate things.
Okay, but I mean, the ones that they were reading are important.
Yeah. You're talking about something. This is new nonsense. This is drama separate from. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we're just gonna do this then. We're gonna power through. It's all the people that you're like, I don't follow all those girls. It's like that side.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
the
again. It's not what I'm referring to, though. Unless what
I know,
I'm referring
we're
to
talking
is it
about
new.
two separate things.
Yeah. Don't care about who
Yeah.
Aiden. I don't care if he's banging 12 girls on the side. I tune out. Don't
Exactly.
care. And I know you're gonna run into some trashy ones that are claim that they're pregnant. Fake. Oh, did that happen to him? By the way, did one of them claim that they were pregnant and they weren't? Yes.
Yes.
Oh yeah, because
I
that's
was
in the
not-
white. That's in the
But I
white
don't
girl
do this
handbook.
from-
Oh
Yeah,
no, because that happened to me, Emily. That's what I was saying. I didn't know that happened to him, but I'm sure they all get the same playbook.
Was there a
girls.
fake abortion in your story too?
No.
But we
The
like
time
Lindsay now, so-
I've had it a few times, but I fell for it the first time when I was in my 20s. Kristen, number 2, that I was dating, we broke up, and then she said she was pregnant. I fell for it.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
I'm sorry that happened to you.
We can't get one person to read with us.
I don't understand, you guys.
Did we miss any questions?
Okay, I want to try if I can.
Yes, probably. Hold on.
Because I like to answer the question.
See how
I
well
know.
it goes. To clear that up and categorize those.
Sure.
Perhaps would you agree that we could put the items that you compared and examined in your analysis in 4 categories: 3-2, the cup or the glass; 3-3, the bumper glass; 7-12, the 9 pieces of glass recovered by a trooper named Buchnick at the scene; and
How come we could never say
7-14,
Yeah.
a single piece of glass recovered by a trooper named Proctor at the scene. Would you agree that those 4 categories are basically what you analyzed between and among each other?
Objection.
Yes, there's 4 total items.
Okay. And within those items, there were some subcategories of items in some of them, right?
Yes, because some of the items just had multiple pieces, so they were labeled just to keep track of the pieces.
Okay. So if I could ask you to take those one at a time, pardon me, 3-2, under that column, visually, that would be a single item, just the cup, correct?
Correct.
3-3, under that single item, the bumper, there would be 5 sub-items, A, B, C, and D.
Is this a joke?
Yes, that's correct.
He caught. Did you hear he copied Higgins' line? He said public school education, just like Higgins did. We have a reader.
Yeah, that was on purpose. You got to let the jury know you're one of them, even though you're going back to your mansion in California. I'm one of you. I'm a public school kid. Always let them
He
know
like
that.
comes from humble roots, though.
We all do. Everyone with the humble roots, please.
I'm trying to see if there's questions.
I see them fly by, but I don't know. Hey, how come our goal, it only says 2 of 15? How can that be? People.
We already reached one goal.
Oh, we have a subsequent goal. I like that.
Meatball Mercy Sketty Stains, who I asked to read and she didn't respond, said they used jiggers at C.F. McCarthy's.
Hey.
I knew you can't say that. Okay. The glass doesn't match the bumper glass exactly.
The glass doesn't match. Right, but
Taylor,
I want to know I want to know the origin of the glass that they planted next to John. I mean, I'm sure people have looked into this, but why don't we know that conclusively right now?
I was always under the impression that it was a like what came in needs to go out kind of thing. But if they didn't find all the pieces, then that was a weird thing to like throw out there with him.
Right.
So
it's significant too. I love South Boston Kev.
South Boston Kev is so good at being Higgins that I'm like actually starting to think that actually is Higgins. And maybe, what is that, a Euro? Maybe Higgins moved to England.
And I love the outfit he put Higgy Bear in. It's so great. It's so classy. Because Higgins shines up nicely. Because underneath that is the tattoos and everything else. He's kind of chubby, but he is good looking from like the face up. It's got nice hair, good face.
I think you're just getting a little too close to him. Thank you, Allie in Texas, who said, thank you, Emily. You're seriously 1 in a million.
Thank you.
I'm not, but thank you. Okay. Well, I sent you Ginny. I think that's who said that. A link if you want to come up. In the meantime, let's see what's going on here.
Yeah.
So rather than sustain every objection because one portion of your statement is objectionable, I'd rather move this along. So recovered at the scene by Trooper Proctor, hearsay part of it. So I can sustain every objection that he makes regarding the chart with Proctor glass retrieved by Proctor, and we can be here all morning.
I'll cut it out.
Okay, you know what's objectionable and what's not. And I understand you're trying to put things in. If there is an objection to every question, I'll sustain it.
Understood.
Just like if there's an objection to every leading question, I'll sustain it.
Understood. Okay, thank you.
She's just like piling on. She's like, and if you try to prove that Karen's innocent, I'll sustain it. Okay, now we're at Buchnick. Why did Alan Jackson never say Buchanan?
Well, it is hard. Look at that. That is hard. If you just had to pronounce that, now that when we obviously know it's Buchanan, but if you look at that, it would be Buchanan or Bukaki, one of them. Buchanan.
It's not. It doesn't look like Buchnick though. Either way, I don't see.
How would you teach that to your kindergarten students if you pronounced it and sounded it out? Boo,
well,
right? Ba or boo.
It doesn't follow like English
right, but
letter
try.
sounds. So you would say, like if I was teaching kindergartners, we would clap out the syllables. We have a new friend. Hold on.
Hello.
Well, hello.
Welcome. What a pretty shirt.
Thank you.
Who are you?
Doing this. Introduce yourself.
I am the OG because I got in a little tiff with Ginny Jams on, I think it was Twitter. And she said, no, not my name, because I'm a Ginny. And she's a Ginny. And apparently
I'm a
there
Guinea.
can't be two, as am I. And I'm a Greek too. So Karina Kolakithis and I are we're tight. No, not really.
Oh, Yasu.
So I told Ginny Jams that I was the original Ginny because I know I have to be older than her for sure. Anyway,
Well,
I
welcome.
love that.
reading.
So you're the OG Ginny. It's nice to meet you. Thank you for volunteering to do this.
Of
Perfect
course.
timing.
Of course.
Is there an earthquake there?
No, I'm holding my phone, patting my dog.
No, put the
Aw, can we
phone
see the
down, put it in
dog?
landscape, and let the dog do what it wants to. Ah, yeah, see?
Oh, Ruby.
Hi, Ruby.
She's named after the ruby slippers.
Okay.
Oh, yes. She's the one that has the cute Dorothy picture.
I do, and I have a Wizard of Oz room.
Oh my
As you can
goodness.
see.
Wait, hold on. I need to make this bigger.
We can do this another time too.
No, this is fun. I would love a distraction. Oh my gosh, this is so
When do we take
fun.
down the Christmas tree?
We
Or
don't. I have 2 of them.
I love everything about
I
this.
love white people's houses.
Replica
Oh my gosh.
slippers, replica everything. There's more.
Oh my gosh, I love
I know,
everything about
I'm
this.
killing your show right now. I'm sorry.
No, it's great.
I'm having fun. That's all that matters.
There's more Oz stuff here.
Oh my gosh. On the
Now,
ceiling
do you have a-
too? Wait. hold on.
Yep. Well, my husband was like, you have too many plates inside of the cabinets, so I had to get rid of the plates. So he put them on the ceiling for me.
Yeah, it's totally
That's
normal.
so
I like
creative.
it.
It's
like a
normal, but
classroom.
not.
It's like when decorating a classroom, like when teachers would do a theme for their classroom.
Yes,
Yours is just a
yes.
Wizard of Oz themed classroom. It's just your house.
I just have 3 rooms in my house that have Wizard of Oz.
That's fine.
Aw.
It's okay. It's
Where
not
are you from?
cocaine. It's not crack. I live in
Exactly.
Tewksbury.
What is that?
I'm from
Where is
Massachusetts. It's
Okay,
like,
yeah, I don't know anything about
do you know
math.
Lawrence, Massachusetts or Lowell, Massachusetts?
Neither.
You know
He
the
called it
fighter?
Worcester. He
No,
called
not
it
Worcester. You know the fighter with Mark Wahlberg?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so I don't live in Lowell, although parts of Lowell are nice, but I live very close to Lowell, right near where Marky Mark's character was from.
Do you think the mother in that movie, The Fighter, is like Miss O'Keefe?
No.
Okay. Actually, I sort of had a connection because she's Irish and very commanding, and everyone sort of looks up to her.
I think she's worse than O'Keefe's mom.
She's worse. The character is. Okay.
Well, as a person, that's just my opinion, though.
Right.
I don't-
Try and get
I
that.
kn-
Let's put that camera phone in
Put
a
the
steady
phone
spot.
down?
Yeah,
All right,
maybe
hold
in
on.
landscape too. Turn it to the side, and we'll get going here. What
then
should we
I'm a
call you?
pharmacist.
I am a pharmacist. I am not like a techie person. So let me try. Hold on a
Another
second.
Greek pharmacist?
I told
What the
you I
hell's
have
going
a
on?
thing with Karina and Alessi. They're like my idols. Hold on, let's see.
Those are good people to
Perfect.
connect with.
There
Is
you
this
go.
better?
Okay.
Yep.
And then are you going to be able to see the transcript?
Or I can go get my computer.
No, we're fine.
We'll give it a try.
I will try.
We're watching Yuri
Hey.
now. Here we go.
Who am I?
You could play Lally. I'll do
Are the-
whichever you want.
who do you want to be?
I don't care who I am. Oh, hold on a second. I think I lost you. There you are.
We're good.
Listen, I told you I'm a 54-year-old pharmacist that doesn't know techie stuff.
I'm
You
happy.
look good. Actually, believe it or not, the funny thing is, what should we call you, Miss OG?
You can call me whatever.
Ginny.
Oh, Jenny, you
She
want
said her name is Ginny. Ginny Jam.
Oh, sorry.
But
Yeah,
not
Ginny.
Oh, no,
Jams.
I'm not Ginny Jams. Ginny Jams is one of the four.
She's Ginny the
Renzes.
Guinea. We got it.
Yeah, I'm
Vince
actually more
knows
Greek.
Ginny.
I'm more Greek than Guinea, I think.
Oh, really? I don't know if that's appropriate, but these girls are so bad. So it's funny, Ginny, in our group text is myself, Emily, Corey, and Samantha. And every once in a while, a girl will pop up and I go, listen, broads, Corey and I need to talk like men do. Like we talk about the girls, like she's hot, she's hot. So I know Corey's type. Corey likes MILFs like in like the 50s and like you like sort of like that's her thing and it's not necessarily mine. But these girls are worse than I am. They think that I'm so crass on here. You should hear them behind the scenes. So welcome. We're going to read this properly. And I want Emily's real personality to come out at some point.
Okay.
Right sneaker recovered from the hospital room.
Your Honor, with the court's permission, if the witness could remove that item from
Yes.
the bag.
Is this when he opens it's the wrong shoe?
I never did anything with the shoes. So is that the issue? There is. Oh, Corey, you know what I'm talking about.
No, so
All right,
that
here we
wasn't
go.
yet where they have the wrong shoes. Okay, you're Mr. Jackson.
You know what? Let me do Mr. Jackson because probably Ginny's got a smaller screen. You'll do Lally, Ginny.
Me?
Is that cool? Yeah.
That's
So I'm
cool.
going to go first here. My issue now that we've started to go through this is the officer did not bag these items. His name is not on the items. His handwriting is not on the items. And some of the items, for instance, the orange T-shirt, why I'm confused, why it's confusing, that's not the bag that orange shirt came in. That's been completely changed. The orange shirt and the gray shirt were bagged together, and that's the only evidence I got. I've got a bag that says orange shirt and gray T-shirt. Reverse that. Orange T-shirt and gray sweatshirt bagged together by Proctor. And now we got other bags, and I don't know who. I can't see that far. I don't know who bagged these, if there was.
What do you say?
Your Honor, as far as when the items were initially bagged, this witness was present for when that occurred. This witness was also present when counsel was present at our office, and counsel came into view these items. They were all.
No, he was not there.
He was.
Go ahead.
Yes, he was.
Finished your.
And these items are bagged as they are now at the time as well. So I don't know what the surprise is.
Well, I don't see anything bagged to back up. I was at the office to look at the clothing. They were cut open and placed back in the same bags that they were cut from. They weren't changed. The bags weren't changed. This is the first time I've seen Buchanan in person in my life. And if he was in the office, he may have been in the office. He was not in that room.
He was in that room.
Tully was in the room.
Of course he was.
Tully, of course he was, yeah. Tully was in the room. Chris Moore was in the room. Sergeant Bukaki was in the room.
I told you these broads are worse than I am. I told you. See, it slips out.
Then I actually have your sense of humor, and it's fine.
Thank you.
Sergeant Buchanan left at some point when the items were taken out because he accompanied Ms. Gaffney and Trooper Guarino was both present at Foxborough Barracks when we were there. When we were there with the vehicle. And he was present in the conference room, in the office, when all those items were taken out of the bags. And he wrote a report in regard to that.
Okay, my
When
issue
was
is
the car at the Foxborough Barracks?
what you asked about the Foxborough Barracks?
When was the car at the Foxborough Barracks?
I don't think that it ever was, right? Because that was the one that they kept saying they.
It says he was both present at the Foxborough Barracks when we were there with the vehicle.
I don't know. You can't count on Lally to be accurate. You know, come on, give him a break. 12:45, 12. Well, give him his Lally.
And
Okay, my
who are we
issue
gonna
is-
believe here if Alan Jackson says Buchanan wasn't there and Lally's like, yeah, he was. Like,
Yeah, because like Buchanan does stick out with regard to the way they all look. Right, he's got hair.
He has
He's
hair.
he's not white and Irish. So it's, but then again, who knows what you remember? Okay, my issue is I'm not discounting that. There were a lot of people in
Tully was in the room. Oh, wait. We already read
the
that.
room, and I
Sorry.
don't discount
You're messing me up.
Miss Lally's memory. Mine may be faulty. I don't know where the original bag is that Miss Lally showed yesterday with a different witness. It's not the bag. That is my issue. It's how did it get rebagged? I mean, the bags are important in this case, but some cases it's not. In this case, they are.
all right. You're not disputing this is the orange T-shirt?
No.
All right. So let's put this in, and then we can figure out after how you go about it.
This is a chain of custody
Issue.
It-
Yes, this won't go into evidence at this point. It may well be that you have to do it through cross.
Right. Okay. I just wanted to note it. Thank you.
Okay.
Ginny, so what's your husband's take on all this? Is he involved, not involved?
He's sick and tired of me talking about it.
Join the club.
I've
why
been
you
to
go on
Canton. I've been to Canton. I did the Canton Shuffle. I actually
Nice.
gave Karen a MS tumbler, like a walk MS tumbler. because I have MS, like Karen and like Jen.
Bragger.
Not everybody's that elite, Vin, just saying. Anyway, but I gave Karen an MS tumbler, and I have pictures of her with it, carrying it into the like church area behind where they had lunch and stuff near the courthouse. Yeah, so I'm pretty involved. Like, I pay attention to this case like it's my job.
Do you have any children?
I do. I have a son who's 25 and my daughter who's 22.
Okay, yes, because Emily and I have to ignore our younger kids to participate in this. But welcome, obviously you've been in the group.
I have dogs, so they bother me.
So much better.
Also, I realized the thing I was saying about the shoe was in the second trial, so that ignored.
Jury, so how did that interview or how did that conversation begin? What was said?
First things first, we introduce ourselves, advise the individual we're speaking with who we are, where we work, and what we're looking to find out. The defendant was advised that we're looking to get a recollection of the events, what happened, what she observed, what she remembers from the night before, and to walk us through the last 24 hours or so of activity.
And
Do I need to give it instructions to Ellie?
I'm
not sure exactly. Why don't I see counsel at Sidebar?
I love that.
I was like, is that Bev interjecting, saying I need to stop this right now?
Basically.
So they determine ultimately that they are not going to really interview her now?
No, they do. They interview her.
All right. So at this point, she is clearly not in custody. We're not asking for Miranda. It's strictly voluntary statements.
Correct.
Why don't I tell you what I intend to give? And then if there is any...
Sure.
You're about to hear testimony about statements allegedly made by the defendant, allegedly concerning the crimes charged in this case. Before you may even consider any such statement as evidence, the Commonwealth must prove to you beyond a reasonable doubt that the defendant made the statement that she's alleged to have made and that she made it voluntarily, freely, and rationally. In determining whether any statement made by the defendant was voluntary or not, you may consider all the surrounding circumstances. These include when and where the statement was made, the nature of any conversations with the police or questioning by the police, and the defendant's physical and mental condition, including her intelligence, age, education, experience, and personality. Your decision does not turn upon any one factor. You must consider the totality of the surrounding circumstances.
The only thing I would ask the court to add is when you use the example of age, mental capacity, etc., is to include a statement about potentially for any medication that she might have taken. There is evidence that she was heavily sedated in the hours before this.
That's what I'm talking about, mental condition. I'm not going to specifically mention medication.
Okay, that's fine.
Other than that, you want me to stay away from Miranda as we discussed?
Correct.
And you're satisfied about just voluntary and the circumstances?
With the note of request that I made, yes, I'm satisfied.
We haven't heard anything about that yet.
Okay.
Thank you.
What was going on here?
They're getting into the interview questions that they asked Karen at her parents' house, and they want the direction that, like, it is hearsay because they're relaying what she said, and so they have to decide if she made it freely and blah blah blah, all that nonsense I just said.
Yeah, hearsay is
He
so
says we're
annoying.
all in on the joke.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So there are obviously exceptions to hearsay. Sometimes there are exceptions with regard to a defendant making statements even against their own position. So I don't know exactly how that's applying here. But it is interesting because Karen does keep talking, and we see that on the video. I don't know if that ever came into any of the trials, but when she was arrested and she tells Buchanan that, it was Colin and nephew that beat him.
John's face was, my taillight was cracked and John's face was pulverized. We're all in on the same joke, right?
Yeah. Interesting. Ginny, when did you first become aware of this case?
The day it happened.
Oh, really?
January
How's that?
29th, 22. Very long story.
Were you at the waterfall?
No. I was home by myself. My daughter was in
Sure,
college.
you were.
I was.
Do I need to
With the
put
3
you into my
dogs.
list at the end? I'll put Ginny right up there,
You
waving.
do whatever, you knock your socks off. You do whatever you need to do.
Oh,
I was
trust me,
home
I
by
do.
myself. My son was in the hospital at Mass General. And this is a long ass story, but long story short is I was home because he was 20 years old and only one person was allowed in the hospital with him because he was considered pediatric, even though he was 20, because of COVID. So I was home alone while my husband was with my son down in Boston. The snow was coming down like crazy. I was housebound and I was listening to TV, news, whatever. And the second I saw it, I'm like, oh my God, that's weird. And then the next thing you know, I was like, oh, he got hit by a plow. Next thing you know, she's a Bentley professor. My son went to Bentley.
Oh, no way. You have so many connections.
Oh my God, there's more. So my son graduated from Bentley with a finance degree, undergrad, and then he went to grad school the following year, has his master's in finance. So he has both degrees that Karen has from Bentley as well.
Is he okay now?
Weird. My son, yeah, so I'm going to. He got his mRNA vaccine, and 3 weeks later, he got diagnosed with autoimmune hepatitis.
Okay.
Which didn't end
I
up
don't
being
know anything about
autoimmune
that.
hepatitis. Oh, I'm a science person. So anyway, long story short, they said it was autoimmune hepatitis, which is basically your body's attacking your liver and making your liver go into like, failure or whatever, hepatitis.
Oh my gosh.
But they now call it a toxic liver injury because it didn't check all the boxes for it.
Right.
But it checked more boxes than not. It definitely presented like AIH, autoimmune. That's why he was in the hospital.
Okay. But is he recovered now?
He's recovered now because they
Good.
said it wasn't that. It was a toxic liver injury, but they don't know from what.
Okay.
And you're like, actually, I know.
Yeah.
I'm going to put my lights on.
That's
Right
my
back.
tinfoil hat back on. I'm sorry.
While we're off topic, S Cube Hyperbole says to you that your hair looks so pretty and she wants to know how you deal with frizz.
It takes a long time to do my hair.
Yeah, I
A
know.
long time.
My mom's a hairdresser, and we always had curly hair in the family. And obviously, Emily's half Jewish, so you straighten it. You have to use a different type of either hair dryer, and you have to do it right after the
Diffuser.
shower. Yeah, I mean, you could go for the chemical straighteners. Miss Judy's people
Nope.
have a chemical straightener. They do it. My wife did it a few times. A Korean straightener. They have a Jamaican straightener. You can do
we're
it
going
yourself.
back to the sidebars. People are requesting sidebars.
You don't want to know about hair?
Also, I curled my hair during Nurse Kim's show this morning, and this is what it looks like now. So that's
John
fun.
O'Keefe.
Yes, it is. The transaction through the credit card, being a MasterCard for $52.80, was paid by Mr. John J. O'Keefe.
And with reference to the items listed within that particular receipt, what, if any, items of significance do you observe listed on the receipts?
On the Karen A. Reed's receipt, 1 Tito's, $10, 1 Tito's, $10, 1 Coors Light, $5.
Sustained.
May I approach her?
Yes.
Call them up to speak to introduce and admit as the next exhibit. And so Sergeant Mechanic, on those receipts from C.F. McCarthy's under both Ms. Reed.
Wait, they're just like chatting over here. They're like laughing and hanging out. Like, what was just happening?
I love the name Tito's. I don't drink it, but it's a cool name, and it makes you want to drink it.
Receipt and Mr. O'Keefe's receipt, there was Tito's vodka listed on the receipt, correct?
Correct.
Now, also on February 1st, what, if any, other establishments did you go to in the town of Canton?
Myself and Trooper Keefe went up across the street to the Waterfall Bar and Grill and retrieved transaction receipts and video from there as well.
And as far as the video is concerned from that establishment, have you reviewed that video as well?
Yes, I did.
And with regard to
He just talks about the receipts and then they get mad about it.
Okay.
AJ objects. What is your objection?
I just don't want it to sound like I just don't want it to sound like a complete idiot in front of everybody. I thought these were already presented.
A waterfall.
The waterfall. I've been waiting for these ones.
I knew I was going to sound like an idiot. My main objection is there is no foundation for these. They could have been done in a handoff. He asked for them, he received them, but he doesn't know.
Which is why I thought we went through the whole video.
No, I thought he can't say that she was drinking Tito's. I don't know. She was drinking Tito's, maybe.
What do you say, Mr. Lally?
She, in her interview with this sergeant, indicated that she was drinking vodka and soda.
I'm not arguing that. I'm trying to establish that if this is going to come in, it needs to come in through a custodian of record, not through the officer. He is not the custodian.
But the video came in, so in connection with the video, I'm going to let this in.
Okay.
Your objection is noted.
Okay. It's a great product placement by Tito's to actually get it into this trial.
Is it? She got a DUI.
And Sergeant, do you recognize what's depicted on the screen and has now been marked as Exhibit 482?
I do.
You know, I'm going to see counsel at sidebar for just a minute, please.
So, have we not seen these before?
You have seen them as far as the lab photographs. What I'm trying to do as quickly as I can, she has to go for her luncheon, is go through not every single piece, but some of the pieces as far as where they are located, where they are found.
Okay, but I think we just saw 3 views of one in the last one. Just put it up and say, what are we looking at? Instead of, can I orient you to what's been marked? Just get right to it. And new, different things. I understand if you have to put pieces together to justify or explain how the lab got it, but just try to move it along. You're losing them for one thing. I couldn't even see where that piece of glass, where that glass was. And if he's going to put it up, have him show what you want to show. And again, when you look down, we can't hear you.
I apologize.
You don't have to apologize. Hold it up here and read it if you have to, but just keep your voice up because I'm going to have to turn the air conditioning off.
Okay, no, I don't want that.
Okay.
Isn't it amazing that a woman's life is on the line here and someone's dead and all she wants to do is get through this quickly? Lally's not understanding that you cannot read and you need to speak louder and we need to keep the air conditioning on. It's fucking amazing that the concerns that we have.
And luncheon break.
I mean, to be fair,
exactly.
Karen probably also wanted to have the air conditioning on because that seemed like a room that would get really hot really quick.
That's what she said.
Okay. Was yesterday the first time you'd seen that video?
No,
When had you seen that video previously?
a couple of weeks ago.
Okay. What were the circumstances in which you saw that video?
Objection.
Did you have a meeting with the DA?
Objection.
Sustain.
Did you ever have any kind of communication with Mr. Lally about your testimony?
Objection.
Sustain.
Maybe approach.
Thank you.
So why don't you put your objection on the record? What are you objecting to?
Relevancy.
Go ahead, Mr. Jackson.
I think it's highly relevant that he's seen this. If he's prepped for his testimony, how many conversations he had with the DA, what was the subject of the conversation? That's a standard question we've asked many of the witnesses. It's highly relevant to determine whether or not he had been given any guidance about how he should testify or what he is going to be saying. It goes to the basic bias in his preparation.
You're objecting as to whether he be questioned regarding any bias in his preparation?
I mean, I never provided any witness with any guidance as far as how to testify.
I expect that's what he'd say. Are you objecting to it?
Again, I just don't see how any of this is relevant.
You say it goes to bias?
It goes to bias, but it also goes to prior statements of witnesses. If he met with Mr. Lally and they discussed his testimony, I'm entitled to that. I should have gotten a report about it, quite frankly, but short of that.
I will give you a little bit of leeway. Don't forget, we are leaving at noon today.
I skipped over about 2/3 of my.
I'm not asking you to cut your cross-examination short.
It's on me. It's on me. Thank you.
He's awful.
Go ahead.
She's like, I'm not asking you to cut it short. Just shut up and get through it.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing, because she knows that obviously there's a record of this, and she is pressuring him. And if you're going to treat him negatively because he's taking longer, then yeah, it's implied that you're trying to cut him short. And that could be grounds for an appeal if possibly there needed to be one.
She does say in one of the sidebars, the public is never going to see this. The press is never going to see this with regards to these transcripts. So that's hilarious.
If she only knew.
Yeah.
We can bring the mics up.
We're right back in Norfolk County.
I have a,
Yeah.
I'd like to have more permission.
Does Mr. Lally know what's on this thumb drive without you telling us?
I do not.
Okay.
Of course not.
Of course not.
I'm gonna approach and I can sort of bring it up.
Oh,
We're trying to wrap up our morning.
It's,
It's marked for identification.
if I may, Your Honor, I'd like to play the first 10 seconds of that video.
No. We'll come.
why in the world do you think that I would let you play something the Commonwealth has never seen?
Because it's we got this last night. We did it last night because we just figured out that this was a completely incorrect video that the Commonwealth introduced, and all I did is I inverted it.
Okay, so it doesn't help to say it's incorrect. Tell me what
It is incorrect.
you did and tell me what you have. So you've got to.
I've got the exact same video, the bit and byte, and it's inverted correctly.
Okay.
It even has the timestamp backward.
How long is it?
Oh, it's exactly the same amount of time as this, which is maybe 5.5 minutes, but I'm not going to play the whole thing.
Okay, so you are not going to play any of it until the Commonwealth sees it. So the Commonwealth needs a copy of it. He's going to have to come back. I imagine you've got redirect, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Oops, sorry.
That's me.
Your Honor, if I could get this done, I could tell the court, as an officer of the court, we have not done anything to this video except the correct way. It's how it should have been in the first place. It's a complete deception in terms of where everything is. I want the jurors to see that when you reverse it, that the car in the where the car is in the Sally Port. I don't have to ask a bunch of questions about it. I want them to see that the car in the correct way, and one time before 2 days of this is over.
Okay, so if you had given this to the prosecutor this morning, I would have given him time to look at it. Are you objecting?
I cannot until I see what it is.
Okay.
If we could take a 30-second break, I could place the 10 seconds that I want to play, and then we are done. I'm only going to play 10 seconds of this.
Do you have redirect of him anyway?
I do.
So we have to come back anyway.
I think so.
All right, so we can do it later with him. If this is the end of, I understand we've got a day and then the weekend. I understand that.
I would just like to get done. There's a closure that I think I'm entitled to.
No, I understand. You want to have a big score just before the weekend. It's perfectly understandable. But if you had this last night coming into this morning, it could have been sent over to the Commonwealth and we could have avoided this. And I understand. So you can either end now without you being done. I can just call it a day if this is the end to your cross.
It is the end of my cross.
Okay, so I'll just call it a day. Give you the opportunity to do this first thing Monday. If there's any objections, I'll hear from the Commonwealth before we even come in, and you can end it on Monday. You can end
Okay,
it
that's
Monday.
fine. Okay, that's fine.
I would do the same, actually, if it were reversed. It wouldn't even be a question. All right? Where do we stand for time? Because the jurors want to know when we're going to finish. It's a half.
Did she
they've been
really
there for
talk to the jurors? Come on.
Yeah, they've been there for like 2 hours.
It's all projection. She wants to know.
Yeah.
Mr. Lally, when do you think you'll finish?
I think the same as I said yesterday. Ideally the 17th. But most likely at some point on the 18th.
If we get started on the 18th, I think we'll need 5 days to do our entire case.
Okay. So do you want me to tell them that you expect to finish with the evidence? The 19th is a holiday.
It's Juneteenth.
I just got so excited. You're Yannetti also.
Oh, have you made the decision on the 21st?
Excuse me?
Have you made a decision on the 21st?
I had the court officers tell the jurors that, and I shouldn't be talking about it, moving another case without the lawyers in that case being here. But I'm seeing if the jurors are available, then I might take the next step on that. So let's say you don't start on the 18th. So if you do 20, 21, 22, 20, 21, 24, 25, you'll finish by the 26th.
Maybe even the 25th. I'm giving myself an extra day. I think we can get through with pretty decent alacrity.
I've never seen that word before in my life.
I was going to ask if any of you two know what that is.
Nope.
Alacrity.
Can we look that up just in case? Because I'm.
Yeah, hold on.
Hey, be quiet, kid. You heard me.
Alacrity. Brisk and cheerful readiness. She accepted the invitation with alacrity.
Okay.
All right. Okay, where are we?
Mr. Lally, are you sure you're going to finish by the 18th?
Sure. I'm not sure of anything based on the number of witnesses and not knowing cross-examination length and things like that. But I'm relatively confident that we can do this, that we can do that, given especially if we're going full days, not half days, or out of 5 days next week, and then 2 more full days. We should. That's still me? There's a timestamp over it, so I can't read it. I think it says, we have about 12 witnesses left. I think we can get through 12 witnesses in 6 days.
Okay. I think I can safely tell the jury without being more specific now and tell them I'll be more specific next week. But I think I can tell the jury that they will get this case for deliberations the last week in June.
Yes, including closing arguments, the whole thing.
They will get it for deliberations.
Yes.
All right. I'm going to send them home. So he didn't get to do his big he just wanted 10 seconds to show the inverted video correctly. And instead, Bev gave Lally the chance to tell Buchanan that was coming, that they were going to reverse the video. He could come up with a story about, it's just like looking in a mirror. That was so nice of her.
Ginny, what do you guys do on Juneteenth for celebration?
I send text messages to people and say happy Juneteenth.
Your one black friend?
Actually,
Miss
when
Emily?
I did my DNA, I have a very small percentage African.
Me
DNA.
too. I'm 1/17th. It's funny because when you do it as an Italian, generally you probably do have some African in you.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Well, my grandmother was Sicilian, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Samantha's sister has a lot of African in her.
I heard it.
This is after Barros, before Proctor.
There's a timestamp on top of my screen. So is that me, right? That's supposed to talk?
Yeah, it just says Mr. Lally. Yeah.
Okay. Just in reference to, and I think they have a difference of opinion as far as the interpretation of this goes. Really? But my interpretation of this protective order is that it does not permit for displaying materials. We can use the materials with the witness and show them to the witness, but as far as displaying materials or anything even filed with the court has to be filed under seal. So I don't believe that. I mean, it's for the use of the materials in that way, and I don't intend to use them in that way for that reason.
I think this is funny. They're still having these same conversations about this same protective order like today. Like this is what like Laura McLaughlin is still talking about in hearings like last week. Like they still haven't figured out that protective order.
Is this separate from the video inversion?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, because
Breezed
yeah,
through
we
that.
moved on from that. Yeah. I agree that anything filed needs to be filed on the seal, but I don't read anything in the protocol that was set up by the district judge that this be restricted as long as you use the items in the trial in the courtroom. If we file something, we have all followed the instruction that we file it under seal. However, displaying it to the jury, is what it is. Once it goes to the jury, it can't be sealed. It shouldn't be sealed. It's part of the record. It's part of the open record. So I don't think it's an impediment. I wouldn't have any objection if Mr. Lally chose to use it. If he doesn't choose to use it, I will take the responsibility of using it. And if it's a violation of something that a magistrate or not a magistrate judge, a district judge indicated, then the district judge can take it up with me and I'll take the heat. I want to try the case and I don't see anything in the...
And I have said all along, my interest is to try to adhere.
Right.
So, Mr. Lally, if you think that you need to use them, I'm concerned about the trial here. I don't want you to forego anything either side is doing based on maybe not being clear on what the federal order wants you to do. But I'm concerned about the trial here.
As am I.
So you could get clarification if you want to spend the next half hour of your break trying to reach people over there.
No,
If
confident in my interpretation of it, and I can do it without putting things on the screen. I don't need to put things on the screen.
Okay, then I'll leave it with you.
Okay.
So I'm not getting any restriction?
I'm not restricting anything.
Okay.
I mean, you've said that you'll take responsibility for any violation the federal court
Absolutely.
may find.
Absolutely.
She's like, that's up to you.
She's great. She's great.
Get in trouble with the federal court. Go for it, Mr. Jackson. I encourage you. But I do want to ask because I'm concerned about this case. Do you think because we can wait and get clarification if need be, do you think that the defendant using what you say he can't produce or publish to the jury impacts the trial of this case in any way? That's my concern with all due respect to the...
No,
protective order. I'm concerned about this case. Guys, she's concerned about this case.
Apparently. No. I mean, I think Your Honor has obviously control over that.
All right. And in the same vein, if the defense is going to use it, I'm telling you, you have my permission to use it in the trial of this case, and it's paramount at this time.
I appreciate that, Your Honor.
If that helps.
It does help a lot.
Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Dev's like, I didn't do anything. I don't know why you're even saying I helped you. I didn't touch it. I didn't do anything.
Exactly.
That's crazy. Absolutely crazy.
Also, just so you guys know, I have like 10 more minutes and then I need to go deal with that child.
Jenny,
so
are you still married? First marriage or second? First marriage?
Yeah.
What's the secret to staying married?
Years. Let your wife do whatever she wants. I mean, I have 3 Wizard of Oz rooms. Like, how can you go wrong?
Damn, you stole my joke. I was like, what if she wants to be so fucking crazy as to decorate a room with Wizard of Oz stuff and put it on the ceiling? Do you let her?
You say yes.
Okay.
We love him. I love him already.
Thank
Now,
you.
with respect to the rear of Mr. O'Keefe's vehicle, from your viewing of the video from Exhibit 6, from the ring video, video number 153, if you could, using that laser pointer, direct the jury's attention to where it is on this vehicle that there's contact, if any, between this Reed's vehicle and Mr. O'Keefe's.
It would have been in this general area here.
And as far
I love how pathetic Proctor sounds every question. Every time he starts talking, he's like, yeah, you're going to make me lie again. Okay, it was like in this area. Like every sentence starts with a whine.
Really? On that date.
Yeah, listen for it.
What's the, hold on.
Maybe approach briefly.
Okay.
Okay, wait, listen to his whine when he starts.
Now, with respect to the rear of Mr. O'Keefe's vehicle, from your viewing of the video from Exhibit 6, from the ring video, video number 153, if you could, using that laser pointer, direct the jury's attention to where it is on this vehicle that there's contact, if any, between this Reed's vehicle and Mr. O'Keefe's.
It would have been in this.
Every single time he talks, he starts
does.
with that.
Guarino does it. Guarino does it too. Guarino.
Really?
Yeah.
They're
It's
like,
pretty sad.
I have to lie
You gotta lie
again. This is hard.
Your Honor, it appears that the witness has just indicated where he believes there was impact made between the Traverse and the Lexus SUV. That is completely outside the bounds of his expertise. He doesn't have any more knowledge of where the car impacted anything other than the 17 people who or more instructive than the 17 people looking at the exact same video. It's completely uncalled for.
There's been an awful lot of this on both sides during this trial. You're objecting that the video speaks for itself?
100%.
Well, I
just don't think that it's appropriate.
what do you want to say?
Again, I can ask it a different way, as far as just asking him to direct to a certain area of the vehicle, if that's what. But he's just directing to a certain area on the vehicle.
He has manipulated, completely motivated.
Okay, hold on. The objection is sustained. You can direct his attention to the where you want to direct his attention.
Sure.
I'd ask to strike that last answer.
I don't know what he said. The question was being asked. He hasn't even answered it yet.
No. So the question before, where he started playing with the laser pointer thing, this over here, it's down below the lower part of the bumper.
Okay.
And that's why I objected.
No, I'm not going to strike anything. The question is prohibited and we'll move on.
Just for clarification.
You didn't object when Mr. Lally asked the question.
I didn't, because he said, could you see the area was?
What was your question?
There was contact or something like that.
What was your question?
I believe the first question was if you could use the laser pointer to direct the jury's attention to the area you believe that the vehicle and the defendant's vehicle came into contact with, this vehicle. And he did that. And then my next question, which I was in the middle of asking when it was objected to, was as far as what, if any, damage he observed in the driveway that day to the areas of that vehicle.
And that's when the objection?
Correct.
You want me to strike a chalk?
Correct. What was he pointed to? It's inappropriate for him to determine for the jury where he believes the cars came into contact with one another. Once I looked up and saw that he was pointing to the left lower bumper area, I objected. And then Mr. Lally began his question, and we talked over each other at that point. My point is that he should not be within the purview of the witness to direct the jurors where he believes the cars came in contact, because the video, in this instance, absolutely speaks for itself. Everybody can make up their own mind.
Okay, I'm not going to strike it, but don't ask it further. That's it. That's my ruling.
Thank you.
Okay.
Great
I'll do
job.
one more
You're
and then-
Emily, you're a great Bev.
Oh, thanks.
No, you should do it more. And Jen,
That's a great compliment.
and Ginny's such a great reader too. You girls are so great at reading. I like it.
Public
Actually,
school
no,
education.
Public
This is
school,
good.
yeah, me
We're
too.
gonna-
Yeah.
Yeah, cut it. You got to
We're gonna-
answer. Ooh.
That's going to be our last one. There's a lot of banging
Okay.
on my door right now.
I can't hear
And my
you.
husband has a work call at 1:45, so I'll
Sure.
let him go get ready.
Was it the golf
No,
course?
I told you that earlier. I told you that before we scheduled this. Ginny, thank you so much for coming on.
I
This
lost
made
my
it.
sound.
What? Oh,
Can you hear
no.
us? Oh, Ginny's Corey's tight.
I lost my sound.
Oh,
I can't
Corey,
hear
will,
anything.
Corey will really like you.
It's still.
Can you hear us now?
Can you
Okay.
hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Can you hear me? I can't hear anything you guys are saying.
Corey,
Okay.
wait, Corey will really like
know.
you.
Say bye-bye and thank you.
That's not it.
Can you hear us? Oh man, I wanted to ask her what her husband's hobby was because I even said this to my law partner. If your husband doesn't have a hobby, it's his hobby's another woman.
I don't know.
Would you agree?
I can't hear you guys.
I don't make blanket statements. Okay.
Oh, well, Ginny, thank you very much. She did it great.
That was
What a
fun.
great,
She was
what a great,
awesome.
awesome, totally
You guys,
awesome.
Like, let that be a lesson for all of us for our life that, like, just take a chance and do something new when you have an opportunity and you have a lot of fun. And then we got to meet Ginny and see her Wizard of Oz room, and that was awesome. Vince, this was a blast. We need to do one more now so that we can finish them because we have like a couple more. I don't know how to see how many, but we have a couple more. We have a couple
Finish
more.
up those questions first before I
ones.
go, because I know my fans were asking. Hey, can you hear us?
I can hear you.
Yeah.
What's your husband's hobby?
Plugging my phone in. See if that helps too.
Ginny, what's your husband's biggest hobby?
He plays pool, like billiards pool.
Yeah. No fishing, hunting?
No, he plays billiards. He plays cards with his friends once a week, smokes cigars.
Mm. Well, I made a statement that if he doesn't have a hobby, his hobby is other women. But I was just joking around. I'm sure he
Can't
plays pool.
make blanket statements like that.
And by the way,
He's
I need to
actually-
hear the.
My husband is
Yeah.
a great husband. I will definitely say that.
That's good.
1000%.
Sounds like a great husband.
He is.
And we need to read the super chats, Miss Emily. Otherwise, I can't.
Well, I need
see
to go in 2 minutes, so
Too
I'm just trying to
bad.
go. There weren't questions though. Betsy loves our faces.
Thank you.
And April became a new member, and I think we got to everything for real.
Oh, man, are you sure? I thought I saw one that said something about me.
There was, I'm going to need more drag disdain and donut making from Loophole for Lally.
There was something that they needed to have, I think, that like drinks before or something. That
Yeah,
I
I thought I saw something from Miss Judy, but she's always mean to me anyway.
Oh, Judy did say something really nice here. It was the last one. Sorry. Thank you. Vinny makes everything fun. See you soon. He's the best.
Thank you.
She
Yeah,
always
no,
has
it was
her
fun.
back.
And Ginny, thank you very much. You didn't hear us, but we were saying how great you were. And Emily was saying in life, maybe you should take a chance. Speaking in public is not easy. And
yeah.
is that your point?
You seized an opportunity, and I really appreciate you for doing that. And that was so much fun. And we got to see your cool room.
And I got
now
to
I need
see
to go
you guys
pick up this
live.
child. Yay!
I feel like I know you guys. Like I feel like I'm part of your family at this point.
I love that.
It's dysfunctional,
are
but it
part
is
of
a
our
family.
Completely. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you,
okay.
everybody.
You guys are the best.
Nice meeting you, Ginny.
It was nice to meet all
Thank
you
you so much.
guys.
Bye, guys.
Have a great week.
Bye, Emily.
If you need a place to breathe, some stress to just relieve, then come watch Emily see, where we keep it drama free. We want justice for John O'Keefe, Aiden and Kelsey, wave bye-bye to Morrissey. Let's clean up Norfolk County. Emily C, the one we need, reading sidebars with Corey, writing Hank diaries, giving the people what they need. It's my pleasure to entertain, keeping you laughing makes my day. Positivity all the way. Why don't we tell Satan not today? And now it's time say goodbye, but before we say goodnight, just keep one thing in mind. Please like, comment, subscribe.